He said this order came to him like from person to person down the ladder, and yeah, he got it. But
Yes, I
he
understand.
asked those people, on the line, and they said, no, it's not my personal decision. It's not what I thought about. I just got it from above, you know? That's what they were saying. Yeah. You know, an order like send 1,000 soldiers to the border, yeah, to patrol and watch. It will make the next country paranoid, you know? It will trigger stuff. But you've been given that order to do this, and you're trying to find out, to figure it out. Why do they want you? Who wants 1,000 soldiers to patrol on the border? Uh, you know, because the normally border patrol is, let's say, 100 people, and all of a sudden you have to supply 1,000 people or 10,000. And that's, a lot of cost for the military. Um, to move this much people, from place to place. You know, it's a mission they have to give. The earth is flat. Experienceably experience experiencing flat. I think wide would also be a good description. Long and wide. But it's not curved. And this is actually how they were describing in these stories that you read to children, fairy tales. You were being told a lot more truth when you were a child, a youth, and when you grow up a little bit and go to school and you think just started the learning process. You were learning a lot more when your parents were reading you children's stories for children.
So I was kind of pondering on this also the other day. I
Uh,
thought it was interesting. Like my daughter is very intelligent. She's like top of her class. Like she's very young still. She's in
yeah,
second grade now, but she's since the very beginning. They've had her, helping to like tutor like the other kids and stuff. So
yeah,
she's fast. But when it came to writing, um, she she wrote perfect mirror images of everything. Like she would write her name 100% backwards, every letter, everything, and you'd hold it up to a mirror and it would be perfect. Um,
yeah.
and I'm like, is this dyslexia or what? Why is she always writing stuff
No.
backwards? And then even still,
Mm,
there's still certain
mm,
letters and certain numbers that she'll write backwards.
mhm.
And and I got to thinking, I'm like, is this common with like all children? Do they naturally, for some reason, want to go the other way, and we're somehow like training it out of them early on to do it, like to basically kind of rewire their brains backwards almost, or like what is going on there?
No, no, no. She saw things, and you see, she does have her own being, and all this information that she gathered, she is molding it in her mind. She's chewing, and yeah, she came up with this. It's not an ability, but it's the gift from God to be handy. You know, all children are very, very handy if you correctly uh, raise them and encourage them.
Well,
And also
I guess
guide them. Yeah,
what I was really saying is like, are we? It seems like a lot of things just in you just at a very young age, instead of letting them
mm,
develop naturally, we sort of train things into them, and it's like the way that
yeah,
the way that for some reason, like I don't know, maybe the writing thing isn't a great example, but another one to support it would be like just how most kids end up being right-handed. My daughter was
yeah,
pretty much ambidextrous. She could do almost
uh,
perfectly equal left-handed or right-handed at a very young age, but then
yeah,
because
yeah,
because you teach them to write right-handed or you give them a right-handed pair of scissors or whatever
yeah.
else, I think you train that into them, and it's not really a um, I don't know. I don't even really know where I'm getting at. It's just like I feel like we're just taking away what is naturally supposed to be and like reversing it. Like I feel like everything
Yeah.
is backwards.
Look, for example, I know when I was like 4 or 5 years old, um, my dad was doing all sort of electric repairs, like circuit boards and stuff like this, and he was actually making like these water debit meters, in those times in late 80s, early 90s, uh, there were not many manufacturers to make digital these water meters, debit meters, and my dad had to make them all by himself, like taking PCB boards and soldering everything there, and you get to some components so small, like half millimeter and stuff like that, and you have to solder it with a soldering gun. And I was watching him, and I see at that time I was able to see how people actually their hands are shaking, but very slightly, and I was seeing it like this is something normal to the adults. They don't perceive it anymore when they hold their hands. they think they are holding it quite fixed position, but I saw that they are vibrating, like shaking, every slight vibration from quite a distance. And when I was getting near, I was able to see precisely like how much, he was off. And he was asking me sometimes to hold a few wires, so he can solder them together on a board, Yeah. And yeah, I saw that he wasn't going to solder them very good. I was already foretelling because I saw how his hands were moving, and I asked him, "Let me do it," because I can do it much more quicker, precisely, without shaking, holding, positioning that soldering gun and everything. And um, yeah, I did it. And yeah, he told me, he congratulated me, like, yeah, bravo, very good. He said, I'm learning fast, but I was doing this actually because as a child, your fingers are much more sensitive to heat than an adult when you have the skin a bit more thick. And those wires, when they were warming up, I felt they were burning me, and I didn't like it. So I preferred to hold the soldering gun instead of wires. Yeah. All children have this. They are very handy, but you have to guide them, to really tap into these abilities they have and to use them correctly. And, you know, it's quite very easy actually, but it's also very easy for children to mislead them, and they will not realize that actually these are abilities which help them a lot. Chil- when it's about precision and stuff, children are uh, overcoming these neurosurgeons, doctors, which everybody say that these people are one of the best hand-eye coordination. It's a skill she's developing, and yeah, encourage her because there is stuff. Um,
Yeah,
can, for example, I've seen videos about subliminal messaging and playing music backwards, and yeah, you know,
I accidentally hung up like right as I was about to say something.
yeah.
Um,
Go
yeah, no,
ahead.
me and her mother, we're both very
Mm,
encouraging. That's why and
mm,
um, it there's definitely uh because her mom and I both. I mean, we're not together anymore, but you know,
yeah.
I wasn't with her because she was a dumb fuck. She's a smart woman. And she went
Yeah.
to school for early childhood education, so she knows a lot about that. And I've been pretty good at being kind of a teacher for her too, and especially when it comes to at least encouraging her own creative thought too, because well, obviously
Mhm.
stuff we talk about
Yeah.
here. Um, I think that's actually helped her a lot. She and I talk to her more like an adult and like always have. Like I she'll ask questions and
Yeah,
I'll, even though most parents would say, "Oh, this is above your head. You're too young," or
yeah. Oh,
I'll, I'll
never
still,
put her down. Yeah.
yeah, I'll be like, well, uh,
Mm.
let me think of how to describe this to you, and I'll try to give her an answer, like almost just
Yeah,
always, and it's like,
yeah,
so even if she doesn't understand it, she absorbs some of it. Maybe she'll
yeah, yeah,
pick up on it more later. But if she does, if she does get it, she's gonna be way ahead of everybody else.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
um,
Yeah,
yeah.
what um I was thinking, uh, for you to say to her something like, "Hey, this skill is a skill. It doesn't. You can't say that it can benefit her in her life 100%. But if she feels like doing this, if she likes doing this, yeah, keep writing and read words backwards fast. Learn to perceive. It's good. Um, but
Yeah, when it comes to
she doesn't have
the
to. Yeah, she doesn't have to go astray from uh, reality. I mean, yeah, she's still young.
well, the thing is what I'm saying is,
Yeah,
it's she's been writing for quite a while now, at least her name.
yeah,
Like when
yeah,
she first
yeah.
started, it was like always backwards, like everything. It was just
Hmm.
a mirror image, like I said.
Yeah,
She's pretty much grown out of that. She's got almost everything figured out, but still once in a while something will go backwards,
uh,
like backwards S,
yeah,
or a five that looks like an S or something like that, right? Like
yeah,
um and I was just that's what kind of got me thinking, is like, what is it that's going on in young minds where they're seeing something one way, and then when they try to
mm,
copy it's going backwards. Because I know it's not just my kid,
yeah.
it's like a lot of kids. The reason that I thought of it was because I was
All the
watching.
kids, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's like
Even
all the
I
kids.
thought, even I thought like backwards writing when I was in school and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I was bad at writing. Like I couldn't write straight. Like and I write very, very ugly. But in technical drawing, it's a different thing. I mean, yeah, I can do that. Yeah. Yeah, it's her thing, which shows her that she has hand-eye coordination. It's her way to train, to practice her hand-eye coordination. You know, it's an ability. Yeah.
Perhaps it has something to do with,
Mm,
like, I mean, yeah, it shows that instead of just copying what she sees, she's doing
yeah.
it from memory, and so it's
Yeah.
that's why it's correct but backwards sometimes. It's
Hmm.
like, but then that shows
Yeah.
good, what is that, analytical, like, thought, like,
Yeah.
is that, yeah,
Yeah.
so
And this ability, when I say the word ability, is not like superpowers or stuff like this. It's more like she thought of something and now she starts practicing, training.
Mhm.
And by training, yeah, you develop this ability. So she's growing it.
Well, and see, there's another reason also. A
Yeah.
little while ago, when I was talking to
Mm-hmm.
Siler about
Mm-hmm.
um, where about the education with the money we put into technology and stuff and how we're not getting any better results with it.
Yeah,
The kids, especially early on, really need to be hands on. Like they need to be. That's why you buy them a box of crayons. You know, they need to figure
yeah,
it out.
yeah, yes. Oh, yeah, even I didn't got born with the ability to hit an apple on someone's head with my foot, take down the apple. I had to train for it, but I willingly wanted, like, to be able to strike in a fight with my feet, have a good coordination, and yeah, by training, I increased my abilities. And um, in my class, yeah, from 30 kids, about four of us, we were able to uh, cross our leg, like go with your leg over someone's head, you know. And yeah, all other kids were not able because, yeah, they have not been curious to do this. But I thought that this ability will help me be a better soccer football player. And it did.
Before I left about a month ago or whatever, I was all excited. I had dropped off my 1978 Pioneer SX 980 or whatever to get refurbished, cleaned up, and stuff, and I got it back, and I am stoked about it. The thing sounds so nice, and it's so clean, so pretty. It's a highly
What's
sought
that? Like
after
a pickup?
stereo receiver, tube amp
Uh-huh.
receiver, like
Yeah, yeah,
um and yeah, it's Pioneer in that day was like the top of the line, what people were all after.
yeah,
So
yeah,
this one's a collectible. Like it 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 sells on eBay like for between like 1,200 and like 2,000 depending on condition. And
yeah,
this is really in really good condition. So and yeah, it's got just the tube, that tube sound. It's just so clean. It's got like a glow about it.
yeah.
It's so pretty. Makes everything sound better.
Mm. Well, these players, uh, if if you have such a good quality player, I recommend you invest a little bit money in Nautilus speakers, B&W Nautilus.
Nautilus.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
one
my
of the
speakers,
best
my speakers I
speakers in
have
the
right now.
world.
Yeah, that's actually cool that you're suggesting something because I don't even know
Yeah,
where to start when looking for like audiophile quality speakers without costing, you know, thousands and thousands of dollars. Like you look up some of the best audiophile speakers in the world. I saw this site of it. They're showing like the
yeah.
10 like most expensive speakers basically. Like some of them are really cool,
Yeah.
but talking like
Well,
$74,000 a pair if you want
I
like
tell you
those.
why. I tell you why they are the best in comparison to all others. It's about the um resonance chamber. You know, the shape of the chamber
and the
where
material
the sound is being created.
and the
Yeah.
materials used and how it's constructed and like it's
Well, they are made of wood, but they make them in this like shell spiral. You know, you know
yeah
these
kind of yeah.
uh,
Well, anyway, what I was just saying like because
mollusk
you're these Nautilus
or
ones like what
yeah,
does a good pair of these Nautilus speakers go
yeah.
for?
It's like a snail's house. You know?
Oh yeah, I get you. Yeah, like well, the
Yeah,
Nautilus isn't that type of shell
yeah,
like that where it
yeah.
spirals like the yeah.
Yes, and that's physical shape, which is very good for the quality of sounds when they are created. You know.
Well, and that makes sense too. It's that Fibonacci
Yeah.
spiral once again,
Yeah.
right? That we see
Exactly.
everywhere in
Yes.
nature.
Yes. Yes.
Anyway, like I was
I
saying,
did.
how much does those Nautilus speakers sell for then?
Well, in the 2000, they were like $15,000. They were
Yeah,
like
you know,
very expensive.
yeah, but I can't
Yeah,
go that. I
but
can't go in all. I might have to stick with my MTX speakers, which I would say are. Uh,
I'm sure you can find some secondhand if you keep searching. At least you know what to search for and have your eyes open, you know. And you never know where you find them at a very cheap price. Even if they are have some damages, they can be repaired and you know, because
well, with audio
yeah,
equipment, especially higher end audio equipment, often most of the value is in its physical appearance. So if there's damage to the case or
yeah,
anything like that, it loses a
yeah.
ton of its resale value.
But you can refurbish it. I mean, we do have now like at hands on internet. You can buy all the materials. I mean, this is a factory manufacturing these speakers, you know, and they buy these products, everything out from out there, from the factories, you know. Yeah. Or you can make one yourself, a copy. Just
Hi everyone.
do something like search books about Stradivarius, how he was treating his wood before he was manufacturing the violins. You know, you can find all sort of secret techniques, you know, and not secret, but from the old days, they were making good stuff back in the days, and they don't make it anymore today.
Yeah, they like in like this stereo that I'm talking about. Yeah, back then in
Yeah,
'78 with these stereos, they overbuilt everything. They
yeah,
went uh, above and beyond the quality, and
yeah.
you can feel that quality with it too. Just
Mhm.
um, instead of these digital buttons and touch screens and stuff like that, like it's nice having
Yeah.
that analog dial that you can just kind of spin, and
Yeah,
you feel each click on the volume button, and
yeah,
the switches, how they just kind of snap. It's very satisfying, and like
yeah.
it's and then it's got a nice glow about
Well,
it. You just
those sounds, those sounds like some sort of CNC machine potentiometers, like mechanical. Uh,
hmm
they are very precise mechanically inside.
yeah.
Yeah,
Very dangerous.
because vast majority of potentiometers and stuff, they are the metal components. They are like molded, you know, and yeah, those have no precision or
What's funny too
quality is
is
bad.
like I'm.
Yeah,
What's funny too is I'm all proud of this old school receiver, and I wanted to tell my dad about it, and he just kind of rolled his
yeah,
eyes like yeah, old, that stuff's old, out of date, you know. And
mm,
I thought he'd be like, that's awesome, you know. But no, he's like
yeah,
he 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 doesn't realize what they had back when he was young. I guess he wants everything new, you know. He's got to, and I think it's about
yeah,
showing off to people. You know, it's like, look, I've got
yeah,
all new furniture every few years. I've got a new car
yeah,
every few years. I've got a new stereo, you know, with the new wireless and everything else. And
yeah,
they keep changing the technology, and it will never be as good as the old. So if you want
yeah,
to keep up, you constantly keep buying, and it'll never it every time they upgrade the technology, when it's this digital solid state stuff, they're only trying to get a little bit closer to the sound that the full analog hi-fi sound has
yeah,
naturally, and they can never actually achieve it. It's like, um,
yeah,
yeah, the analog sound. Somebody was, you know, the kid at work was asking about it, like when I was talking about, you know, like high quality sound, like getting files at a high bit rate, and you know, like stuff like that.
yeah.
And he's like, well, then what kind of bit rate is that stereo? And I was like, it doesn't really compare. It's like infinite.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I
like
tell you what. For example, nowadays with the new cars, um, mechanically they are okay, uh, but they could be very good. You know, if they had people in these factories, and if it were people assembling the components as it should be, by measuring every part to fit with its counterpart, and yeah, they they will be making very good cars, but they make okay because they have robots assembling them, and they put a margin of tolerance. They don't fit everything perfectly. If it fits within 10 microns, 20 microns, it's good, but you can fit it to 2 or 3 microns, and then it's perfect. And yeah, but for example, we have these computers controlling the mechanical parts, and from the software you can make that car to damage itself in a predicted time period. It will last 3 years or 5 years just by programming it that way, you know. And it's not actually like programming. They know that if they use this car in these parameters, if they make the software to use that car in certain parameters, that car won't engine will not last longer than this time period. But you should actually uh, adjust the software parameters with every part components, and yeah, it will last much longer, 5 times longer. But they don't want that. They want you to buy car parts. They know that
Yeah,
certain valves,
yeah.
certain pistons, whatever, everything that it's in a mechanical motion and it has friction and stuff, it's going to get used because you are not using it in its design parameters. You are pushing its limits,
Yeah.
you know,
It's no
actually.
secret
Yeah,
that these companies do this. Some
yeah,
of them are notorious for it,
yeah,
like Apple and their products.
yeah, yeah,
It's planned obsolescence. And as
yeah,
far as I know, according to, I'm not an expert on this, but I believe,
mm,
according to at least in America, like consumer protection
mm,
laws, that planned
yeah.
obsolescence is supposed to be illegal. Like
Mm,
they're not supposed to be doing that. Like,
mm. Yeah, well, you see, they can't make the program like uh, they are not allowed for you to see that when you investigate that software to find that it was programmed, you know, to last that long. So they are manipulating the working parameters. And they say, "Whoa, for these car models, yeah, this is the normal parameters of working, and yeah, for 10,000 cars will run 5 years, 1,000 cars will run 6 years, and two or three of them will be running for 10 years." But that's because, and they tell you, yeah, some of them from the assembly line, it happens to have all those best components assembled perfectly, very good,
oh,
and yeah,
I've even heard
as it
that
should be.
there's certain motors that have been made. Like I think there's a boat motor for sure,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
there's maybe certain like rotary engines that they claim like
Hmm.
if they're done super precise, like they can actually run
Yeah.
like without oil. Like they're
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's so precise.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, benzene, gasoline. Uh, I mean, not gasoline. The petrol you put in your tank is actually oily. It is a lubricant.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
it's derived
greasy.
from
Yeah.
oil. Yeah, it's made from
Yeah.
oil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very thin, but it is a lubricant. So, and you have that gas being sprayed in your engine, in your piston, and it burns, but uh, it has all these other components, elements, which it turns into, and um, yeah, some of them are uh, like some sort of Vaseline, something like that, which is afterburn. It doesn't burn. It's something left over, you know. Well, for cars, I recommend these grease. Oh, dang, I forgot the name of it now. But it's something which is like magnetically attracted to the metal, and when you put that on metal components, they are greased for good. Unless you have very hard particles like tungsten powder or diamonds, to rocks.
I think you
That
hypnotized me
magnesium,
again.
it's a grease mm, with a metal mixture, but I don't remember which kind of metal. Something with M, but not magnesium. Uh, Maybe molybdenum, I think.
Manganese. I'm trying to think of anything. I don't
Yeah.
know.
But this metal itself is a something like um, it acts like a grease. You know, they use it in CNC machining also. And for high quality bearings and yeah, this stuff, the expensive ones. And anyway, that grease, I don't know, it's like $150, a small tube of it. Yeah,
Yeah, that was the main thing that they did with just cleaning up this receiver is lubricate the switches and shit like that.
yeah,
And
yeah.
they cleaned everything. Just it really didn't have to replace anything. It's in practically mint condition, which is awesome. I think there was one light that they said that they replaced, and that was it. Um, now I want to get a record player. I'd like to have a matching one, but the matching
Mm,
1978
yeah.
record player, um, that's
Mm,
that that's going for another $2,000. So
yeah.
I might have to just find a different record player.
Mhm,
But then
yeah.
even then, that's going to be an expensive hobby to get into because records are
Mm,
not cheap.
yeah. I still have I'm actually kind of sad because I have a vinyl player. I'm not sure, 1700s or 1800s, something like that. Is this kind with
Wait, you got one from the 1800s?
yeah,
That's
and
awesome.
it has it had this membrane, the needle where you put it on the disc. It goes to a round cylinder and it has like a diaphragm there, and yeah, that part, uh, I lost it, the head, that
Yeah,
head,
good
and
luck.
then
Good luck replacing that.
yeah, I mean, it's 1800s technology. I can make it, but I know also that diaphragm was something like which they were doing. It's a composite, some sort of foil, pressed together, and it makes like a very good drum. Yeah, it
So
was.
if it's that old, I'm picturing is it the kind where it's got like a horn coming out the top and you crank the side and
Yes, yes, yes. It was portable. Yeah, it's like a
yeah.
suitcase. Yeah, you open it, and yeah, it does have a horn. Yeah, coming out.
It do it have a hand crank where you gotta turn the thing?
Yes, yes, yes. You have to turn with the
Yeah.
spring. Yeah, all that still works. Yeah, yeah. The
That's
spring and
really cool.
everything.
You got to get
Yeah.
that thing working. I don't know what it plays. Does it play regular vinyl? Like what size record does it play?
Well,
Like
I have about 50 vinyls, and
You have
some
you
of
have
them,
vinyl records that play on it, yeah? Like what
yeah.
size is what size are they?
Well, I would say the diameter of a car driving wheel, like small size car. I don't know
Okay, so there's
how much
like
is
you know how
that.
the 4 there's like the 45s and like the 33, like it's like a standard size, like a 33 and a
Yeah,
third or whatever.
both work. I mean, I have small ones and also big ones. Both size can play. Yeah,
Okay, so it plays both sizes on that old ass record player. Interesting.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I would have thought that they had different records that old when it's that old.
Uh, no, I do have some records which are very small in diameter. Uh, Something like 2 times bigger than a CD, normal CD. But
Hmm.
yeah, the ones I have the most are the big ones, and yeah, they are like the diameter of a driving wheel. You
Hey, let's see
know,
if this Rart no longer fart long whatever name.
mm,
He's talking
yeah.
plenty of shit in the live stream voice text. You in here to talk?
Sorry,
Uh,
who's in the live stream?
the guy's in the voice text
Oh,
talking plenty about making plenty of claims about the Earth not being flat. I want to see if
oh,
he wants
let
to get trying to see if he wants to get on the mic.
yeah, let's get him on the mic.
He's not even in the in the VC. He's not supposed to be in here just talking
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. He's not coming in. Huh?
And maybe he isn't typing anymore either. Took the warning.
He chicken out. Yeah, that's what they do. Hit and run.
Yeah, just trying to get his 2 cents in as a keyboard warrior.
Yeah. I wish summer is coming.
So since it's quiet, last thing I'll say about it. One thing I did get though, uh, that I'm also really stoked about is a digital to audio converter for Bluetooth, like so that I can stream stuff to the old stereo. And it's a really nice one. It's got a really high quality chip in it for like audiophile quality sound. It's like so it uh I can get FLAC files like super high definition files, and it comes through really nice.
Hmm. Well, I'm like, if you can hear it, it's okay. If it distorts a little bit, it's no problem. You can still understand.
Well, I
Yeah.
it's just amazing. Like, because I got like with Amazon Prime or whatever, like they had gave me an offer to for what their music unlimited or whatever, like their subscription for their
Yeah.
music service. They gave me a 3 month free trial of that, and I'm trying it out. And
Huh?
that comes with they've got the ultra high definition audio on a lot of this stuff, and it really does make a big difference between like um going from say 320 kilohertz MP3 to CD quality high definition to ultra high definition, which is instead of 16 bits and the 24-bit.
Yeah.
Like you can distinctly hear a difference, and it's really cool. I'm liking it.
Mm. Well, back in the days, I had a sound system in my car, um, amplifier, woofers, and stuff like that. I had about 800 watts, but yeah, in about 3 years, my car alternator, he was like, when I went uh, changing it, I realized it was damaged. He died, and the guys told me, dude, what happened to your car alternator? It looks like it's been through the nuclear war. you know, it
Oh,
was
you're
all
you're right. You,
melted inside. Yeah,
oh, geez, melted.
yeah, yeah. And it got soldered to the core, to it has those spinning parts, and yeah, weird. Yeah, and um, I was also like, yeah, turning the music loud, listening, and if you hear the bass or the mid or treble a little bit distorting or stuff, I was going straight to the equalizer and fixing everything. Then I was like, what the hell is this obsession of mine? Like fine tuning every music device and stuff, like make it play perfect, to hear it intelligibly. And then I was like, I don't care about this stuff anymore. Um, And sometimes I was taking my dad's old car, and it had these original speakers in the doors, and a radio uh, player. And when you turn it all up, maximum, it was loud, but you can tell it's not many watts. It was like 15-watt speakers, They can't shout that too loud. But when you were turning up to maximum, they were all distorting, like, you know, making all those funny noises. And actually, I began to like that. Why? Because it was annoying to everyone else. They were like, "Oh, dude, how can you listen to that? Shut the hell up!" Like suffer. I was terrorizing them. Yeah, it was my way to terrorize them. And I was like, "Can't you hear this song? How nice this song is? I mean, all your mind is at the speakers. You don't hear the song. I mean, what's wrong with you?" Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'm not gonna relate to that because yeah, like I see,
Mm,
I had this stereo was in great shape. It just started to get cutting out on the right channel, and I kind of retired it to the basement
yeah.
probably like 10 years ago. And I've been meaning to get it refurbished.
Uh,
Now I did, and
well,
when I hooked it back
mm,
up, I like
yeah.
instantly huge smile on my face. I was like, oh my god, I've been
Mm,
missing this. Like music just didn't feel the same for the last 10 years. Like
yeah. Yeah.
I found myself breaking, like I'm listening to different music than I do on my
Yeah.
when I'm digital, like through the phone or whatever. It's more
Yeah.
classic rock and just but I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
just thoroughly enjoying it again. Where it I just felt like I was missing something, and I guess I didn't realize it until I got it back.
Yeah. Well, I do understand. I mean, when you're doing this as a professional, or yeah, even also to have a good instrument in your house, like a music player, or yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, but with music, I have something. I never spent time to listen to music. I never spent much time, like
Mm.
pretty much everyone else that I know. I don't know. When I'm alone, I don't turn up devices and stuff to listen music or stuff like this. I don't know. It wasn't me. In high
I
school, I
listen.
saw my friends when they were sitting at home. They were like watching MTV, and next day I hear them talking about this clip, that girl, that guy, song, music, and yeah, okay, I
Yeah, I'm
heard
not
the
into.
song, but
I'm not into.
I'm not watching the clip. Yeah. Sorry,
Yeah,
go
I'm not
ahead.
really into like MTV
Mm,
and pop music and keeping up
yeah,
with the latest stars, but there is so much
yeah,
good music out there that,
yeah.
especially,
It's
and
worth
I don't know,
listening. Yeah,
music is important to me. I guess I
yeah,
listen to. I've got I'm listening to music all day, every day at work. I'm in construction, carry a radio along with me, or wear
yeah,
headphones,
mm,
and then a lot of times I get home and I'm
mm,
turning on the stereo too. Like it's.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess we're a
Well,
little
I
bit
get
different
that.
from
At work is nice to have some music playing and stuff. It, it makes a lot of difference. It has spiritual, and it puts you in a good state of spirit. You like. positive. And yeah, when you work in a factory where you're not allowed to open a phone to listen to something, radio, music, all you hear is bloody machines and stuff, like I do, I can see that it's stressful for quite many people, that it affects them. But they are not aware how they are negatively affected by this polluting noise, you know, of the machines. And it will make a huge difference if there was a small speaker on the wall to play anything, even news channel or radio, something, a voice, something
Can't you have
intelligent.
can't you have like safety like earmuffs like for sound, or you
Yeah,
don't have
yeah, yeah, you
earplugs?
can,
Well,
yeah,
then
but they
why don't you get one of them that
safety,
has a radio on it, and so you got some music playing in
yeah,
there.
yeah. Well, you, in metal working, you can't use these with radio because
Yeah, I
you don't
understand it
hear
could
the
be a
machine.
safety issue. You want to be able to hear
Yeah,
what's going on around you too. But
yeah,
if you played it at a low level,
yeah,
I think you'd
probably,
be all
yeah.
right.
I mean, something like an AirPod, yeah. But I don't see myself with those big earmuff, like headsets. No, no way. It's okay. You can still smoke inside the factory, at work, have a coffee, yeah.
Get just wear one AirPod or Galaxy Bud or something. Wear just one, and you can still hear and listen to music.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. A pair of Bluetooth earpieces, something.
But that's what I do a lot actually now at
Yeah,
work, because I got a pair of
mhm,
Galaxy Buds. So at work, a lot
yeah.
of times I wear just the left one, so I can still
Yeah,
hear
that's what I
somebody
was
shouting
thinking,
out.
like
Yeah.
wearing only one. Yeah, when you
Hmm.
wear only one, then with the other ear you can hear normal. Yeah,
Yeah, that way I can still, some guy's shouting measurements to me. I can still hear it and cut him a
yeah,
piece.
yeah, yeah. And when it needs an earpiece, I don't even need to play loud, 'cause yeah, on probably the lowest volume you can still hear it, even if it's noise outside.
Yeah. Well, and then these like the Galaxy Buds, I bet
Mm,
the AirPods probably have it too, but they got the ambient sound also, where you can have it.
yeah.
It's almost like almost like a hearing aid. It plays the sound from
Mhm.
outside of the earbud back through the earbud.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you can turn that on
Oh,
or off and adjust the level for how
hmm.
much. But yeah, like so it still plays the sound that
Yeah,
you would be hearing,
yeah.
and the music.
I'm gonna look for some. And I'll use it with the ear I hear less.
Yeah, yeah. That if you're harder of hearing in one side, probably put it in that one.
Yeah. I don't know. It happened about 3 years ago, uh, I was working somewhere near Frankfurt, and I went to Frankfurt in a weekend. And some guys said, "Oh, we have this good cocaine and stuff." And I was thinking, "Oh, I want some too, like give me 1 gram." I took it, and it wasn't cocaine. It was some sort of mixture of speed and fentanyl, and man, it it blew my sinuses, and I got an ear infection at that time after 2 days, and since then I hear a little bit less with my left ear, but it's not that. Um, I also did tests, hearing tests, and some of those very, very low tones I first didn't notice it, you know. Like I was able to ignore. It was like a background noise that you don't hear. And yeah, I said to this guy, well, I don't hear it. I mean, and when I put it to the right ear, I heard it, it was there, but I realized that, yeah, between the left and right, there is like a difference of volume. And yeah, and I told him, oh, I didn't know that. Actually, that was the sound I was supposed to listen for. Like, I had no idea what tone you're playing. And it was quite very, very low, you know. You could barely hear it. Yeah. And ever since then, I'm off with these kind of drugs. I don't want them because you never know what you buy, the quality, and it can mess you up.
Oh, I'm unmuted. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, hello. Welcome to Flat Earth. Who
I've
is
been here.
this?
I've been here for a while. My name's Creep.
Oh,
I didn't choose this
Greek.
nickname.
Yeah.
They just chose
Okay.
it for me.
Oh,
According to your rules, yeah, they didn't like you very much last time you were on. I'm guessing.
Interesting. So, can we talk about something
so
else besides whether the Earth is?
yes, of course, about the
Wait, wait, wait,
shape of
wait, wait.
the Earth. Yeah.
Did he say other than? Did you say other than the Earth?
Yeah, something other than the Earth. Whether it's a
Oh,
cube, a pyramid, a rectangular prism, a sphere, a hexagon. Let's just move on from that topic because it gets old. Trust me, it's annoying. It's not.
What do you want to talk about in the Flat Earth server?
Well, this is the only active server I'm in, so pretty much anything.
So
hmm.
you're just trying to turn this into like what? What are you into? Games chat or what do you want to talk about?
I don't know. So, do you guys believe in God?
Oh, you want to go to religion? No, we're not going to do that in here.
Well, I do believe in God. Do you
Yeah,
believe?
yeah, I believe there's a creator, but we're not going to. I don't think we should go too deep into
Wouldn't it
that
make more
topic.
sense?
Yeah, I
Wouldn't
entertain
it
the
make
idea.
wait? Wouldn't it
Go ahead.
make more sense that there really isn't a creator and that just nature, like the supernatural, is really just the natural that humans don't understand?
No, how would that make sense?
Coincidence?
How would that make sense? You got to explain
Yeah, what
how
is
would
supernatural? Yeah.
The supernatural is like, oh, the lightning strikes. Oh, it must be God. It must be Thor or something.
well then how
Uh,
was everything created then if there was no God?
I don't believe it was created.
It came to existence somehow. How did that happen?
How do you know it came to existence? How do you know that for sure?
Mm. Okay, can I give you an example, an analogy? We have a big hurricane, tornado, whatever it is, weather, bad weather, very bad weather, and this is going through a airplane scrapyard, and is gonna be moving all those broken airplanes. It's gonna crash them, crunch them together, mix them all around until they all fall into a perfect assembled Boeing 747 with fuel tanked full and ready to fly with a pilot in. Do you really believe this is possible?
Well, actually, it is 1:03 p.m. You know what that?
Oh, metals. Hello,
Yeah.
C. Welcome.
Hello. Excuse me. There's another host as well. You must address her.
And yes, hello,
I'm just
Redford.
messing with you. I'm just messing with
Welcome,
you.
guys.
Why are you guys derailing my conversation?
What?
Well, yeah, this is a show we have here, so
Yeah. We
So-
can
just wait for a
continue
bit.
it soon.
Okay,
Yeah.
so why would you believe that the universe had to have been created?
Uh, um.
Oh, should we do our little introduction and then we can get to the question?
Yeah. Sure.
Redford, add me as a friend, by the way.
Is that you that just added me?
Yeah.
Have you been in this server before?
I have. I've been here for maybe a year and a half. I've just been banned a few times, like maybe twice
Yes.
for like the dumbest reasons. Back
Mm,
on another account.
I remember
Okay.
you. All
You
right.
do.
I
You
do. Yes.
What do you remember about me?
Well, let's see how the conversation goes after we do our intro. Let's just leave it at that.
Well, just accept my friend request. We can talk later sometime.
Yes. All right. See? Take it away.
Don't leave. Our intro's not too long, I promise.
You guys,
Welcome.
welcome to the Flat Earth server. We are doing a live
No.
stream right now.
No, I will. Okay, you gotta stop. Okay?
Okay. Welcome one and all to Precious Metals Takeover. This is both of your hosts, Steve and Radford. The point of this program is to allow new people to the server to speak up. It is a voice for the voiceless, silvers and below, or golds and below, my bad.
Yeah.
Can have the microphone, practice their debate skills. If you make mistakes, that's okay. That's why we're here. Just get practice, speak, be confident, do what you love, act in virtue. We'll talk about that in a little bit. That's kind of our question. Similar. Read a lot of Aristotle. Anyway, how are you, Redford? Because
I am doing great. How are you today?
philosophical.
Crypto, are you there? Can you put the announcement for us? I can DM it to you if you're available.
I'm driving at the moment, but I'll be happy to as soon as I pull over.
Oh,
Drive
okay.
safely.
Yes,
The
drive safe.
server is less active than it used to be. That's for sure.
I mean, it's just holiday season, though. Like, they may be trick-or-treating in some areas.
Oh shit! Is that tomorrow?
Yeah, Halloween's tomorrow. That's why it's like less active today because it's a holiday.
Are all the flat earthers going trick or treating?
No, but they may have kids. We may
Yeah.
have kids.
So, all right. So can we go back? Can we go back to our conversation previously?
I guess.
We will approach your conversation. Don't worry about that. Yeah.
When?
Soon,
Just
TM.
be patient.
Look,
Yeah,
a little
can
bit.
you? Okay,
Yeah.
now it's all coming back to me. Okay, so you
Yeah.
have to learn to be patient and just take a breath, right? And the conversation will go okay. So
You're
don't
not-
try to
yeah.
moderate yourself because it's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Okay?
And can you guys have some respect for the two hosts who are trying to actually present a show as well. Just let them do that first.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
Thank you. We do have a question though, if you want to answer. We usually have like a question to start things off.
Mm-hmm.
And you're welcome to answer it if you want. Redford, would you like to ask the question?
Yeah, I can ask him the question. So, what does it mean for someone to live a good life? And it's all subjective, so whatever you think.
You're asking me?
Yes.
What does it mean to live a good life? I'd say a life filled with good people, good relationships, and I guess some some amount of financial stability, or being self sufficient and just having good relationships, good people, having a family, and that's pretty much it, really. At least in my opinion.
No, that's great. Thank you. Thank you for
I'm not.
answering the question.
Yeah, I'm not one of those idiots who thinks that money and stuff will make you happy. Although it can help, but it's not everything. And rich people kill themselves all the time, so that's obviously not everything in life. So
Actually, Aristotle said something very similar. Like, people who chase money or chase pleasures are basically just animals, is what he said. But like, there's also like a certain baseline of things that you need in order to be happy or exercise the good or virtue. So I think it's really cool that you bring that up and make that distinction.
thanks. Now what?
Yeah,
I
what is
guess we could
being good?
I guess we could ask like if anyone else wants to answer the question. If not, you guys could like pick up what you guys were doing.
Yeah, I can try. Um, if you okay. Um, I would question this question actually, because
Dare you,
you
Geppy
know,
Cat? No, I'm just joking.
yeah. Um,
Why would you question? What makes you question the question?
because when I read about life or think about life, um, we experience it here in physical, but life is not physical. Life is eternal, and to be bound forever to financial stuff, to you know, it doesn't seem right to me to worry for money. Money has nothing to do with life, to the way of living. The way of living is very important. And yeah, the question is, what is life?
Life? We're just human beings. We are just. I know that a lot of you may not believe this, but we are just animals who are more intelligent than the rest of the other animal species. So really, our main purpose in life is just to have you know good relationships with your tribe, I guess you could say.
I know, but you are already gone far away from the statement that you compared us to animals. You said we are animals, but actually, when you say you're a human being, you're saying that you're not an animal, actually.
No, no. If
Correct?
you look at, no, no. If you look at the definition of an animal, by definition, humans, all of us, everyone listening right now, you are an animal. Accept the truth.
No, we do have in common stuff. We do have stuff in common with the animals. Human beings and animals, we are alive, unlike the plants.
What? Are you saying plants aren't alive?
They're alive too.
Yeah, they are not alive. No,
So
they
they're
are very close. They are the closest to what can be called alive. But plants do not breathe.
Well, where do we?
they
I
breathe
believe
water.
they do because they take in like carbon dioxide and they exhale oxygen. Like it's kind of
No, they
reversed,
don't exhale.
but
No, they don't. They don't have the breath cycle.
but what
That's life.
are we? Where are we drawing the line for life?
Yeah.
Like, is it sentience? Is it free thought? Is it a, the ability to think in certain patterns? I know that's your question, but I want to hear your
Mm.
own answer to your question.
Yeah, I think repeating cycles, ability to repeat, um, is
Yeah, that's what plants
what
do.
life.
Otherwise, that's what plants do.
Yeah.
I mean, they're species of trees. Yeah, that have been around for
Well, that's why I said that they are very close to what we call life, but they are not alive because they do not breathe. You
they
know, they
Yeah,
they
but
make
they
breathe.
fruit
they
every year.
grow, right? I mean, it's
Yeah,
just like, yeah, it goes back to I think what CI was saying. How do you define what is
yeah,
alive? I would say everything that is
yeah.
energy, like everything is alive, everything is vibrating, everything is moving, right? So it just depends if you define it as something that's specifically breathing, but then like C said too, right? It's putting off or taking in carbon dioxide or
Yeah.
whatever.
Well,
So
in the creation model, um, the plant life is renewable food, so it has to be given uh, every year in repeating cycles. Every tree gives fruits, and if it doesn't make fruits, then it's a bad tree. It's not a good tree anymore. It doesn't serve the purpose that it was supposed to. So there wouldn't be living beings without the trees, the plant life. They call it plant life, but it's actually the closest thing to what life is.
But
But
it's either
that's what they are missing,
the
the breath.
it makes sense.
Living beings, all mammals, animals breathe. Humans breathe. Inhale, exhale. And you repeat this every
Trees
day.
listen. Trees
Yeah.
breathe. They absorb nutrients and water from the ground and stuff. So they do
No,
breathe. It's not the
no,
same, but it's
no. They don't breathe.
I mean,
I mean,
What,
can you
what
prove
are
they
they
breathe, bro?
breathing? Carbon dioxide and they exhale oxygen? Are you kidding me? It's the other way around. You
doesn't
breathe in. When you breathe in, you do it for assimilating oxygen, O2. And when you exhale a lot of carbon dioxide. And the plants are doing this in opposite way. So they are opposite to what you are.
Yeah, they're still alive by definition.
Well, that's a pseudoscience that call them alive.
Where are you from?
Plant.
Are you from Eastern Europe?
Yes,
That explains. That explains.
Romania.
That explains it.
Why explains it?
Well, because you guys aren't as intelligent.
I'm
wow,
sorry.
okay. Do you think that that's acceptable? Because if
This
you
guy
keep
is
speaking
this
like
guy
that,
for
I
real, bro?
will give you cognitus because I remember you and you were not kind to people. So stop. That's your last warning.
Saying that trees are not alive. I mean, are you
Did you
fucking
end it?
serious?
Hey, did you hear me? Can you
Yes.
acknowledge that? Okay, perfect.
Hey, Red
Well,
Wait,
Production.
wait. I gotta interject. It's not because of you. It's not because of your opinion, by the way. Like, I actually like. I don't just like blind. Like, I'm just saying this to, I guess, help give context. I don't like just blindly
yeah,
believe people because they're like flat earthers or whatever. Like, I actually agree with your interpretation of the question more, but what Redford's saying is like there's like a certain way to like treat people and not treat people, if that makes sense.
Yeah, be civil. Do not insult people, because I haven't been insulting you. But I can get over this. Yeah,
Redford, I gotta step away
easily.
from a moment. My stomach is
Yeah.
hurting like really bad.
Yeah, okay, no problem.
Oh, get well, see.
Hey, Redford,
I mean,
actually.
you believe
Oh,
something, bro. Prove it.
hey, Redford. Actually, do be sure to add me as a friend.
Okay, I will when I get to it.
It doesn't take that long. It takes maybe about 2-3 seconds.
Okay, I know you're very fixated on that, so let's focus on something else.
Don't
So,
do it. It's a trap, bro.
Yeah,
okay,
I'd
so
say you have to earn her friendship.
Well, that's just the precursor, to a good conversation.
If you need to be friends to have a good conversation, I don't know what to tell you.
Well, I mean, in a private call, right? Because I don't. There's too many people in here, and I just want to talk to one person.
I mean, your name is Creep, bro. Like, you realize this, right?
I know. No, I'm not religious. No, well, no, I'm not religious. Someone just changed my name to this shit. I didn't choose this.
What do you want your name to be?
You say you're not religious, but I can demonstrate you that you are a blind believer, and that makes you religious, very
I mean,
extremely
I believe in nature.
religious.
I mean, I believe in nature and the natural order.
Oh, you believe in nature and natural order. Have you heard of natural science?
Natural science.
Yeah,
Yeah.
scientific method.
Yes.
You heard about them. What do
Yeah,
you
of
know
course.
about them?
Well,
You
scientific.
believe them or you know them?
Well, I believe that the scientific method is a valid way of the valid methodology. I guess I don't know too much about it, but I know it's a valid.
Well, the problem is that you say you believe. That means you consider it a belief system, which it is not. It is totally the opposite. Natural science is knowledge, is about knowledge. So you either know it, you can believe all you want, but
will be flat. I
that
think
does
you're
not
hot
mean you know.
micing.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so hopefully you understood that, Creep. And I guess we can get back to your question. So, what is
Yeah.
your question that you had when we started this program? Do you
About
recall?
the universe.
I don't remember.
About the
Oh, it was something
universe.
about the universe being created or something. But do you have a question then for us?
But yeah, I was just gonna say, how do you know that the universe even had a beginning at all?
Well,
Okay, but hang
you
on, but
believe?
what does that, wait, hold on here.
Yeah.
So what does that have to do with the shape of the earth and the fact that the earth is flat?
Nothing. I mean a
Okay.
little bit,
So
but
can we
boring as
talk about
shit.
that?
Well, I mean, it's not my server and it's not my stream, so it's really however, what you want to force me to talk about is whatever I'll talk about, whatever you force me to.
Okay. So we're not forcing you to talk about anything. Nobody is forcing you to be here. You are doing that. You can leave at any time.
Yeah,
This
I mean, like
room,
what?
okay,
Yeah.
I'm not done talking. This room is for discussion about Earth and flat
Mhm.
Earth. There's other
All
rooms,
right,
which I
perfect.
know you're aware of. Okay, I'm still not done. That you can go in and you can have these conversations about. So for now, let's talk about what you think the shape of the Earth is. And if you have any questions around that.
It's a sphere.
Okay, so it's a sphere. Why do you
Yeah,
think it's a sphere? What is
because
your evidence?
Well, you can do these tests on your own. You can measure the shape of the Earth. You know, you can you can look at like I believe what is it flight paths. You know, the way the planes fly, what direction and how long it takes, and that
In a
alone
straight line.
literally. Hold on, wait, what?
Yeah, they fly in a straight line.
Oh, what are you saying, that they would dip the nose of the plane?
No, they are not dipping the nose when they are flying. They are flying at a given altitude, flight path, which is
Yeah,
straight from A to B.
yeah, but I mean, but the amount of time that it takes to go from certain place from point A to point
Well,
B.
that's given by the speed, the amount of time,
I mean,
not
like,
trajectory.
yeah, but we can calculate. How many miles is it if you're going 500? If a plane's going 500 miles per hour, the destination is 2,000 miles
In
away. It'll
one
take
hour,
4
it
hours.
will be traveling 500 miles. Yeah, where is the curvature in the 500 miles per hour?
I don't. I mean, it's only what is it? 8 inches. Eight
Show
inches
me
per.
where is pi in 500 kilometers per hour.
Okay, wait. So I got to do some quick
Yeah,
math.
yeah, let's do it.
It's only four. It's only approximately four. It's only about 4 inches divided by 12. It's only approximately that many. Yeah. So I just did some quick math, and if you're going by the 8 inches per mile squared, it's really not. The plane wouldn't have to dip the nose as much as you might think. It's not that they wouldn't have the plane wouldn't have to dip the nose. Do you believe that the plane would have to dip the nose so they wouldn't just fly off into space?
Well,
Okay, so wait, what is your
according to your
argument?
globe
What is
model,
your
yes.
argument here, though? What is your argument exactly, Creep?
My argument is that the Earth is not a disc; it's a sphere.
Okay, and you're saying a flight
But
proves that?
we are
How?
not saying it's a disk.
Well, yeah, it's a
Do you
circle.
know any man? Uh, One moment, I want to ask you, do you know any man that measured the Earth to be a disk? Do you know anyone?
No, because that's
No.
not.
Do you know anyone that measured the Earth to be a globe? And by
Yes,
which method? By which method?
there's tons of evidence. This was known over 2,000 years ago or so.
Yeah,
Uh,
Eratosthenes, ancient Greek, that
yeah,
never existed.
what never existed.
Yeah, Eratosthenes is actually an anagram.
Interesting.
Sees not Earth. Sees not Earth.
You
Fascinating.
mean allegory?
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, let's go to Eratosthenes. Do you know what he did?
No.
No. But you said he proved, and you don't know that he proved or how.
Listen,
Because
I'm gonna
that's
go.
what I'm interested, the method he used.
Listen,
So you believe it, you don't know it. Correct? In your mind, it's a belief.
Creep, are you still there?
yeah, I'm right here. I'm just thinking.
Okay. Okay, so has anybody taken you through the 3 points?
No.
Okay, I don't know if I don't box office, did you want to say something? I think you were trying to unmute before. If you want to join in.
Yeah, so we were asking for direct measurements, right, for the globe, but you bring up Eratosthenes, and he only assumed the Earth to be a globe, and then calculated those assumptions. So when we ask for measurements, we're not asking you to assume what you're trying to measure, right? right? So you can read multiple different scientific journals telling you that he only assumed the Earth to be a globe and a distant sun with parallel sun rays, right? So that's not what we're asking for. Are you aware that he used assumptions based on shadows? Creep.
No.
Right. So if you claim something, we want you to know what you're claiming and to be able to support that. Right. So just reading some random article that we hear all the time 2,000 years ago, if you type in 2,000 years ago into the search history, there's going to be like hundreds of hits on that. Right. You're just parroting and regurgitating what we've been told a million times.
And that's so far back that you stand no chance. You have no first-hand experience, no first-hand evidence, documents, anything from that time.
Hey, let's
Yeah.
give him a minute to let that sink in, because that's like a lot of information, right, Geppy? So maybe just give him a minute and see
Yeah.
if he actually
Yeah, but
understood what was said.
that is a great point, though. Like, there's a lot of the historians are. There's a good chance that Eratosthenes never actually existed. Also, like he didn't appear except for in like one writing from somebody like like 100 years or more after a few hundred years after he was supposedly alive.
So, do you have any questions about what was just said, Creep? Did you understand everything that was said, or do you need time to think about it?
I could tell you what Eratosthenes did if you want
I
to
know, but
hear it.
just I want him to answer though, Geppy Get, okay? So just
Sure,
hold up.
yeah, go ahead.
I don't even know if he's still there. Or if he's run away.
Creep?
Oh. Alright.
You just laugh.
Blip.
Um,
Yeah.
Okay.
Hit
All
and
right.
run.
Okay, so who else do we have? Bode Avon? Are you there?
Oop.
Bodavin? Bodavin? I don't know how to say people's names. Bodavin.
Yes.
Oh, hi. Welcome to the server. Or welcome back. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you
You're
very much.
extremely quiet.
Yes.
I apologize. I'm not sure why.
Rainbow Six Siege is a good game. I see you're playing that.
It's just
What,
in the background right now.
what agents do you play?
Sorry, what was that?
What agents do you play as on attack and defense?
I play all of them, really. I don't have a main.
Oh. I like Dokkaebi a lot, personally. I like calling people because, like, when the phone buzzes, like, I can hear their footsteps. And
Yes.
as someone from this server, I like paying close attention to details. And that's a common theme you'll see in this server, which I think is pretty interesting. But that's why I like Dokkaebi from Rainbow Six, because it's all about listening.
Cool. That sounds cool. Welcome to Flutter server. Hello, Bodivine.
Hello.
How did you find the server?
I honestly have no clue. I left my Discord account for like a good 3 months and it was here, so I can't remember how.
Okay, no problem. I'm glad you're here, and now that you find yourself in the Flutter server, well, you should be having questions because this is a totally different kind of paradigm, right?
Don't really have that many questions, actually.
No.
So, sorry, how did you say you found the server?
I think I joined a few month or two ago, but I can't remember exactly how. I think it was just through Discord.
Okay. So, have you spoken to anybody about the topic of flat Earth before, and what are your thoughts around?
I haven't talked to any. Excuse me. I haven't talked to anybody outside of the server really, and honestly, my thoughts are I don't really care what the shape of the Earth is. I'm not sure.
So, okay, this is always an interesting one for me because when people say they don't care, yet you're sitting in a flat Earth server, right, talking about the Earth. So doesn't it matter? Like, are you just interested? Why are you sitting in the server if it doesn't matter to you?
Well, personally, the reason I'm here is I am very interested in the argument and how different people argue different views. And one thing that I've definitely noticed with the flat earthers on this server is that they argue much better than people think they do. And I'm mostly interested in the argument aspect of it.
I agree with you. I think that's a good reason to be here because it's more of a mindset and not how it's more of a mindset and not like how we use language, if that makes sense.
Pretty much what you were saying earlier, hear and learn, listening. Go ahead.
Anyway, it's more of like paying attention to detail. As like I noticed you had Rainbow Six Siege open, so I was kind of trying to make a connection. I actually do play Dokkaebi though. I'm not very good at Rainbow Six Siege, but when I played it, or just because it's like over 100 gigabytes, like geez, that's like a lot for a game. But when I did have it on my hard drive, it was really fun, and it's about patience and paying attention to detail. And really, in Rainbow Six Siege, like you don't go in unless you have evidence that someone's there, and you have to wait patiently, and it's all about positioning. Similar to that, in this server, we don't like to talk about positive claims unless they can be backed up. Just like how in Rainbow Six Siege, you don't go into an area unless you know someone's there.
Yeah.
Great.
I know
That
the analogy is
makes sense.
kind of cheesy,
Yeah.
but
it works.
Well, I do know that you have this default teaching of the heliocentric model and the infinite universe. Everybody has it. And if you are new to flat Earth, very likely you have never heard something opposite to this religion, to this belief, the heliocentric model, up until now.
Do you have any questions about anything that you've heard or just in general, but Ivan? Or however you say your name. Correct me if
Yeah, I
I'm wrong.
don't care how you say my name. It's been pronounced all different kinds of ways.
Okay.
I don't really have that many questions because most of the questions that I've asked in the lobby channel, and they've
Okay.
mostly been answered, so I don't really have that many questions.
So I guess what is the biggest thing that you think that, well, I imagine you think we live on a spinning ball going through space, right?
Personally, I am trying to cling to that belief, but it's definitely dawning on me that that might not be the case.
Okay, so why are you trying so hard to cling to that belief?
Because personally, it was one of my kind of goals in life to get into the aerospace industry and work on spacecraft, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I see.
Well,
Can
it's a
I
nice
ask a
dream to
question?
follow. Sure. Go
Flat
ahead.
Earth Solar, I believe you were speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to see, Bodovan, if you are a conspiratorial type person? Like, do you believe in 9/11, like the mainstream narrative about how the towers fell and like the moon landing? You believe everything was legit with that? Just for us to sort of get an idea as to where your thinking is. Maybe we can bring up something that's a bit more interesting for you where you are now.
Personally, yes, I do believe that the moon landing was a legitimate event and that it happened, and that in terms of 9/11, nothing. There are definitely some things I don't know about it, but I do believe that it happened, obviously, and how it happened.
Okay, so does somebody, I don't know, maybe somebody that doesn't speak up as much, like, I don't know if we've ever really heard from BG or even Box Ops or DCO, if somebody wants to take over the conversation with him and talk to him a little bit about
One quick thing. So you say you believe like the moon landing stuff, right? Well, did you know that NASA admitted that they destroyed that technology to go back to the moon, and it would be a painful process to build it back again? That's why we haven't gone back. And then they said after that they destroyed the telemetry data that showed that they went, right? So isn't it odd that they destroyed the technology and the data for the moon landing?
So that's one of the parts where I'm definitely having trouble clinging to the belief that the Earth is round because, when you look at modern technology, we've definitely haven't destroyed anything. Like, we have amazing technology nowadays. I just think I don't know why they're saying that, that's why.
Can I present to you a
Right, so
case then? Sorry
You know
to
what?
interrupt.
Yeah, I kind of just want to, for now, just because it is precious metal, right? And we do want to have some of the quieter voices speak up to get
Yeah.
beget. So maybe if we can
Yeah.
just let them take. I mean, I do want you to still participate,
Yeah, with the
but
turn. I
okay.
just asked. So yeah,
Thank you.
continue.
right, so you would agree that technology gets better, right? It doesn't regress. People are live streaming off their iPhones 12s and 4K, right? So one iPhone has more processing power than an entire warehouse of technology in the 60s, right? So it doesn't make sense that they destroyed that technology and we can't go back, and they destroyed the data to show that we went, right? So I'm not sure why you're clinging to something that there's no technology for or data to show that they went, right? It's just a story that we're told. It's hearsay, right? There's no firsthand evidence, and you're unable to verify any of the claims of NASA. And not only that, they say that the only real picture of the Earth, right, is from when they went to the moon landing and turned around and took a picture of it. Well, if they don't have that data to show that they went to the moon landing or that they couldn't even go again, right, they say all the other claimed photographs of Earth from space are just flat maps wrapped onto a ball in Photoshop, right?
Mm.
So you have this few images from when they claim to go to the moon, but you don't even have that either, right? So you don't have pictures from space, you don't have the moon landing. So what do you think about that? And I could cite any of that stuff I said if you don't believe what I told you. Everything I told you is like on video, admitted, or straight from NASA's website.
Yeah. There's also a famous picture of the
Wait, I want to make
Apollo
sure that
missions
but
director.
hang on, get because we're
Sure,
not
go ahead.
letting him answer. And this is where
My
it
bad.
does get a problem because too many people start, piling into the conversation and then it gets kind of lost. So if he's there, I'd like him to reply and make sure that he caught all that before we go on to the next thing.
Yeah, the stuff that you just talked about, that's where I'm lost as well.
Okay, so you're lost. At what point? Where did you get lost?
Well, I'm not essentially lost. Those are just things I can't explain, and I don't know why they would say those things if the Earth was round. Or it wasn't faked.
Okay, box ops, do you want to keep going or not?
I'll be back in a minute. I posted that NASA admission on the live stream text for you to look at, and that's not the only one. There's another one they've also said on video. They are photoshopped, but it has to be, right? So why would they say it has to be photoshopped if we can actually go to outer space and take pictures of Earth?
Do you have an answer for that, Ivan?
I don't really have an answer for that.
Okay.
You don't have an answer, but what do you think about it then?
I'm not really sure what to think.
Well, a NASA official is telling us that the Earth's image, the God view Earth's image, is photoshopped, made in Photoshop, is not a photograph. It's a digital artistry, painting. What he imagined to be. So, you were not able to explain, like, why did they destroy the technology or the telemetry data, and also you didn't had much to say about it, thought. But I'm curious to present you. Uh, you see, there is this NASA moon landing Apollo mission director, together with Stanley Kubrick and together with Arthur C. Clarke, also a famous astronaut. And these guys have a picture walking together. I think it was somewhere at Langley, NASA, big buildings, where uh, this Apollo mission program, it was a program, it was big. Uh, there was involved all that giant Saturn rocket, supposedly rocket, I know that. They have it exposed in a museum in USA. Um, I don't deny its existence, but uh, I don't believe people were in that rocket and they went to the moon with it. They did launch it upwards like fireworks, and it came back down, and this rocket, it is down here where it should be, you know. But they only claim that they went to the moon. We see on television videos the launching of the rocket, and then all of a sudden we see a small matchbox moving above some gray land, sand, and the sky is dark, no stars, no nothing. And yeah, this land they showed, it's like some sand, and with some crater shape, like, you know, yeah. Not that hard to be made in sand, but
Okay, so let's get it going and we'll get back to Ivan and what
yeah.
if he understands what's going on, because I'm not sure if we've taken away from the question at this point that he had and what we were trying to talk about.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Yeah, see that's kind of what happens when everybody keeps going in and we keep talking and keep going on and not allowing the other person to kind of answer, right? It gets kind of lost in what the whole point was, what he was talking about the moon landing, right? So box office is back. I don't know if he wants to continue the conversation with him or possibly DCO, others that haven't been speaking up as much during Precious Metal.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Or even Will Be Flat, who we don't really hear from.
I'll be down to answer the questions or ask him some questions if that's okay.
Perfect.
Yeah,
That would
absolutely.
be great. Thank you.
Yeah, keep it on like a question focus. That'd be awesome. Like,
Yeah, well, I just kind of jumped into the conversation, so I was going to ask like, what are the things about the globe that don't really like add up to you? Like, what are the things that you're questioning that you're saying, this about the globe is not really making sense?
Why NASA would say things like they've destroyed the technology, or how their overall rhetoric towards, here, I'm trying to find the best way to word this. Mostly they're saying like this is photoshopped, and how they admit to the Photoshop, and also their rhetoric towards why they destroyed that technology, which it's clear that we probably, if the Earth was round, we possess that technology today.
Here's the thing: a lot of those things that you're bringing up are like, for me, they're a little bit superficial, right? They're like things that NASA is saying, right? But there are also a lot of claims that the globe makes that are like not NASA related that are kind of suspicious, right? Like water supposedly bending and like like being to the outside of the sphere. We don't really ever see that in nature. So do you find that something that doesn't really add up with the globe, or do you find that consistent with it?
In my opinion, the water bending around a globe makes sense, because when you say something like we can't observe that in nature, it'd be hard to tell because we don't have another copy of Earth to test this on that's the same scale. Saying that it doesn't happen in nature is interesting because it's happening on Earth at a very small scale, and if it was on this large scale, it might actually be feasible.
That's a bit of a logical fallacy, and let me explain why. Because that's a little bit of a special pleading fallacy. You're saying that we do observe it, it's just when it's too large, but we can't ever observe it when it's in a really large scale. In a small scale, we can't see it. So you're saying that there is this special case in which it does, but we can't ever observe it. So are there any other instances in which we can see water curving that is not the Earth? Because then that is what we're trying to prove, that water bends in other cases other than the Earth, right? So does that make sense to you?
Oh, yeah, that makes
That
sense.
if you're saying the special pleading thing, does that make sense?
Yeah.
So are there any other instances in which you've seen water bending or curving or adhering to the outside of a surface with in large scales? Like, in my opinion, and this is just me, I've never seen it. And before I learned all this stuff, I used to think, you know what, it does make sense. But then when you start seeing that that's the only case, when in nature we can always scale things down to kind of prove things. So that should be just something that you should be questioning: is why is it always like a special case that makes the globe work? So that's just something to ponder. But do you have any other questions? I feel like I kind of just went on that direction, but do you have any specific questions about like flat Earth, right? Like, do you know how that works?
I believe I have a good grasp on it.
would you please elaborate on what you think the flat Earth entails? Because sometimes people say that they do, but sometimes they don't. So please elaborate on that.
So, I don't know the exact like timeline of flat Earth in terms of when people started believing the globe was round and working in that sense, but it's essentially the Earth is flat and stationary, and it has to have some sort of container around it, or else the gas would escape, essentially, because you can't have gas
Mm.
next to a vacuum. And then there's lots of other things connected to flat Earth, like according to what
Well, that
I've
was one,
read on the
right?
server, at least, there's lots of other
That
things.
was one. In my opinion, that was one that we just mentioned, saying like, well, the flat Earth claims that you need to have a container because we have gas pressure, and in the globe, you're saying that it's basically open, and what's keeping it in is gravity, right? So even in just me asking you what you think about the flat Earth, I'm coming to understand that there are you kind of understand what the flat Earth is, but before you were talking about NASA, but I think that there are aspects that are more important to look at, that we have more evidence for, uh, that I think are more important, like, yeah, gas pressure, right? Things like that.
Bless you.
Bless you, MJ.
If anyone else wants to jump in and ask some questions, I just kind of wanted to get it rolling in that direction.
I
Yeah.
actually have to leave right now because I have a meeting to go to, but thank you very much for talking with me today.
Have a good time. Do come back.
Have a good
I will
time.
definitely be
Yeah,
hopping in the VC
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
yeah, man. Thank you. Have a good one.
So, it's kind of like around halftime. So, I just kind of want. Sorry, someone just DM me something, and I'm kind of angry about it. But since it's halftime, I do want to make a couple of quick announcements, if that's fine. Well,
Go
not
ahead.
really announcements. I don't know, but the first thing is I made a promise to someone, so I'm gonna uphold that end of the deal. Uh, so there is a server being created by Ravenous Brad, and it's kind of like a project like he really wants to get going. It's called 24/7 FE Commerce, and definitely DM him about like more information about it. Like I'm in it. I don't know if he wants it to be public yet, but like at the same time, like he asked me to like talk about it. So like definitely like if that sounds something interesting, it's kind of like he's like trying to make like an Amazon thing, but without Amazon or big tech. So like if that's something that interests you guys, definitely give Ravenous Brad a DM. Say like, hey, I heard about this on precious metals. What's this commerce thing? Just shoot him a message. See. And then there's also something like kind of important I want to talk about. So I'm guilty of this myself. But we should really use Livestream Locker Room more. It's a very effective tool. And sometimes when I type in there, like not people, I haven't typed in it today, but sometimes when I type in it and it'll be something very important I don't want in live stream. Sometimes people don't look at it even when I ping them. So like if you have pings like disabled, I highly recommend turning those back on if possible. And then finally, last thing before we continue, usually most people who are guests in 24/7 or on this program usually have very limited time. And sometimes we as a community fail to realize that. So it's important, at least on precious metals, to allow them to have the wheel to an extent, or let them have the wheel, but we have our feet on the gas pedal. So they control the direction the conversation goes in, but we choose when to stop or when to go forward. That's kind of the analogy I like to use. So I think if it's like more of like close to a debate or introductory level, I think it's important that it's like a one-on-one or maybe it's two-on-one, but like no more than that, just to keep things slow and peaceful. And most people have limited time and can't be here for the whole 2-hour program. So it's just important to keep that in mind. Nothing personal. You guys are great. Keep doing what you're doing. That's all. Redford, do you have anything else to add?
I feel a little bit stingy. I don't know why. What causes me to be like that
You're fine.
lately? But yeah, um, I think it's dealing for so long, and yeah, dealing with this kind of people like creep and
Well, and I think
uh,
too, like sometimes we take for granted that they don't understand some of the stuff that
yeah,
we're going to talk about. And I know sometimes you get into like some higher level things, and that it just seems a little lost sometimes on them. And I can just like they're quiet, and I'm like,
yeah,
oh, he's lost
yeah,
them. Oh no,
mm,
get no. So it's nothing,
yeah,
but it's always like dependent on the person that we're talking to. My approach doesn't
yes.
work for everybody. It's just the way that it is, right? Not everybody's going to
By
respond the
the
same
way,
way.
I'm glad you interrupted me because I was like rambling, but I wanted to take him to the point where I told him that, hey, there was a big project, there was a big studio, many people hired
Oh, I see.
on, there was a payroll, everything, documents and stuff, all this Apollo program. And this is what they destroyed.
Mm,
They
mhm.
build studios. They bought a lot of materials, and there was all these receipts, everything for the program to build this studio, how to fake it, all those lights, all those special cameras, all this setup. It cost money, and it was. And yeah, at the end, when everything was done, they had the end result, the video streamed, broadcasted on national televisions in the whole world. The project was done. And then this project, documentation, and everything, it was incriminatory evidence. And that's why at the governmental level they have archived all this, and then they destroyed it, they burned it. So you don't find the telemetry data is not actually telemetry data. It is actually the receipts for everything they bought, every person they paid, every job they hired someone to do. Yeah. That's what it was.
Yeah.
For me, it was a little
And
No,
bit like
I
Leo,
get
where he
that.
was.
And
mhm,
oh, sorry,
yeah,
DCO. Go for it.
No, that's okay. I was gonna say for me, it was I just kind of came in the conversation with the guy, so I didn't know where he was coming from.
yeah,
So for me, it was to ask him like what he thought was weird about the globe and what he knew about flat Earth. Because I find that a lot of people that come in here don't actually know what like they're rejecting. More than anything, like they don't even know our claims. So sometimes I like to ask them that to see
yeah.
if they know some of the claims, to know where to ask from there, because some people don't care at all. They just kind of die. So that was just my take.
It was a good take. I was curious what he thinks also. And he seemed to know a few of the arguments, second law of thermodynamics, gas pressure, vacuum. He mentioned those arguments.
Yeah, like at the beginning, he was bringing up NASA, but then when I asked him, "What do you know about the flat Earth?" he brought up some things that contradict the globe. So those could have been some things that
Yeah.
he would have brought up at the beginning, you know. So not even
Mm.
some people come in saying things, but when you ask them questions,
Yeah.
they they say even more. They say the things that you kind of want them to say. So you kind of have to ask them like random questions so they can answer
Mm.
randomly to see how they actually feel because they'll come in with like a like a storyline that they want to say. But when you ask them a question that's not in their storyline, then they'll actually tell you more truthful
Yeah.
answer. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
I think, and I'm not like on like some high horse to really talk about this or anything, but from my observations, I think as a community we need to do a little bit more listening because when we speak, it should be like effective communication that actually like addresses the point. Um, and I think we all have very wonderful, educated things to say, but sometimes the listener isn't at the level we are, if that makes sense. Like a lot of these
Yeah.
guys are just waltzing in. They're like people my age, gamers, just waltzing in, playing a video game while they listen to this, like some podcast. Like they're not gonna come in here and understand that they're gonna talk about like actual like science, right? The scientific method. Like especially because for some of that stuff, like they try and tell us to reject that and just trust the science. And someone's DMing me right now, one of my old Overwatch friends, and they're like, "Why don't you trust the science? You're selfish." And
Does
I'm like, "I'm selfish for questioning my reality, for actually questioning things instead of just trusting it." And they tried to tell me like, "Oh, I don't trust easily." Well, actually, you do because you're pinpointing me as a villain, and I'm like, it's not people versus people; it's people versus government. And that's the whole point of honestly things like flat earth. There's a point of that. It's not about the actual details. It really isn't. It's about the big picture of why we matter and why the reality out there is not what it seems. And it's about doing research and it's about understanding the scenario we're
Oh
living in
no,
and not
no.
trusting
You
what?
you took it on the wrong path, see?
What do you mean?
Actually when they say the science, they are referring to Discovery Science channel.
What?
Yeah, that's what they are talking about.
When they say
Discovery
the science, they're
Science
talking about the
channel.
government. I
Yeah,
mean,
you
to
are
be honest, like
point. Mm, Go ahead.
okay, this is going to be like the most egotistical thing I've ever said. I don't want to waste time on him because the person who's DMing me doesn't listen, and I'm not going to listen to him
Uh,
if he's not going to listen to me. So like I don't want to waste my time. He is a waste of time. I cannot save him. I don't want to waste my time. He's
yeah.
not a very nice person, and he's like hard stuck silver in Overwatch and blamed me. So like
Oh,
I'm a former diamond in Overwatch. I've tried to help him. Every time I tried to help him, he would be the type to point the finger at me. So like I don't want to waste my time on him. I don't even know why I'm still friends with him.
who's that guy?
Old Overwatch friend. I called him out for being emotionally attached to this, and then he's like, "Don't play that emotional attachment bullshit on me." See, you should know by now that I come at these things as objectively as yeah. Shut up. Shut up. I'm not gonna talk to him. I'm sorry. That's like the rudest thing I've ever said on
Yeah, don't
PMT.
worry.
But like, if people are gonna come at me like that, like he started the conversation because I posted something on like
Mm,
a server. Actually, I'm just gonna say it. I posted
okay.
something. I posted that entire like Fauci thread on social media, and
Yeah.
like he didn't like that and immediately DM'd me on Discord
Oh,
because he didn't like what I had to say. And it was during the whole like dog thing, if you know what I'm talking about. And he didn't like
yeah.
the fact that I said that nobody should trust Fauci without doing research.
I was a little bit worried.
it's
Maybe
all
you are
in the
referring to me
No,
in a
no,
subtle way, you know.
no.
But no,
This
yeah,
is
now I
this is a
get
guy
it.
I used to play Overwatch with.
Yeah. But he's a silver flat earther.
No,
I mean, what
no.
you say?
No.
He
He's
said in the
silver in
game.
Overwatch. He's
Yeah.
silver in the
I
game.
see.
Okay, so in
Ah, I
Overwatch, there's
see.
the,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
in Overwatch, there's
yeah,
like a ranked competitive structure. So like there's
yeah,
bronze,
yeah,
silver, gold, platinum, diamond,
mm,
masters,
yeah,
grandmasters. He's silver,
yeah,
which is the second lowest rank in
yeah,
Overwatch. I'm not talking about silver in this server. Sorry, I
yeah,
should have
yeah, yeah.
clarified that. That's my bad.
I got it now. No problem.
So like uh he so I'm diamond in Overwatch. And I made an account because
Oh,
diamonds and
yeah,
silvers can't play together.
way over his level.
Right.
Yeah,
So I made an account in silver to play with him. Then I
yeah,
tried to
yeah.
help him win games and we lost and he blamed me. The diamond, he blamed me. And I'm
Oh
like,
my God.
so like he's one of those people, right? Like listen, I'm
Oh my
PMT
God.
and 24/7. It's very important to be patient and try and
Yeah,
speak on their level. But if you are
yeah,
speaking on their level and they still don't understand or they still call you names, then we give up on them. And honestly, like,
yeah,
don't even address them.
well.
But if
Just tell them that
yeah.
we're wasting time before you give
Waste
up
of
on them.
time. Yeah,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
not
that's a
worth.
good point. Tell them that they're wasting time before just, giving up, right? Like, they should at least have the right to know. But it's a good
You
point.
you
I
you
feel
need
you
to
now.
realize that they are in that spot where they don't want to get out of. They're very comfortable, and they're very comfortable with the people around them telling them that they are comfortable. You get what I'm saying? So if you
Behind,
want to get someone out of their comfort zone, you've got to tell them that you're not here spending your time wisely by sticking to your point. Okay, that's the whole
yeah,
thing. You've got to stay open-minded, and when you stick to your point, you're not open-minded. I'm sorry.
yeah. Well, this is what they actually train their minds for in the educational system. So it's going to be hard to crash that. They are being told that sticking to your point is the best. Is you have
What
to
about
achieve that goal that you set yourself. Yeah.
being open to the fact that you were right all along? What's wrong with that?
Well, it's not that. It's that if you just keep saying you're right, they're never gonna listen to you.
Yeah, come on, Justin.
Never
I
gonna.
know. I'm just playing.
I know. I just want to.
Yeah.
Redford, do you think we could go back to the question we asked at the beginning?
Yeah, I was just waiting for
Yes,
that conversation to wrap up. Yeah, for sure. We
I
can.
wanted to ask you, Redford, to ask DCO the question. Or,
Oh, yeah, I
yeah.
can definitely ask DCO the question
Yeah, that's a
if
good
he's
idea.
there. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, I'm here. What was the
Okay,
question?
so the question today is, what does it mean for someone to live a good life, in your
Oh,
opinion?
it's different now.
A good
Oh, wait.
life. Okay.
No, it was the same. That's what I asked.
I thought it was the meaning of life. That's how I understood the first time. But go ahead, Slim.
Oh,
I think to live a good life is to leave the place that you came into better than the way that you came into it. Is that it's a little short, but what I mean is, uh, I don't know, like multiply, that kind of thing. I don't know if that helps.
well, you kind of
It's
cut
a
out for
little
me,
short,
so I
but
didn't hear. Yeah, so
shit.
no, that's okay. I don't know if it was just me, just the first thing that you said. But
Can you hear me now?
yeah,
Can you hear me?
I think that's a little clearer.
Okay, shoot. Is it better?
For
Yes.
me it is. Yeah.
Okay, what I was going to say is to live a good life is to leave the place that you came into better than what it was when you came into it.
150%.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, just
Oh, hey,
multiply. Just multiply.
Justin. PMT, by
Well,
the
Yeah,
way.
that is one of the things I live by. If I go into like a restroom, okay, I'm not joking you. If there's something on the counter, I am going to clean it off before I leave, because if I leave and someone else enters the room and sees that thing on the counter, they're going to think it was me.
I appreciate
Yeah.
your commentary. Unfortunately, it is precious metals at the moment.
Yeah.
I
I
agree with you,
also
man.
don't like to
I'm with
leave
you.
traces,
Yeah, and I think if
clean
we
my
all did that, then
tracks. Yeah.
the place would be better for everyone when we leave. Like, and we're not. This place is not for us. It's for our children and future generations. So that's what I've been doing. Like working hard to leave something for my children, leave things better than they were before. Because the place that I came into seemed okay at the beginning. I'm starting to realize it's kind of crappy. So I'm trying to make it better myself. Like, what the hell? We have the ability to do it, so why not?
True.
Yeah, that's great. That's a good answer. Thank you. And I'll just, I guess, go down the list. BG, are you there? Or if anybody else wants to jump in and answer. Otherwise, I'll just pick random people. Everybody's so eager.
Well, for me, good life means to understand life, to learn, to find out what it means. What is life?
So that will make it a good life to you if you understand
Yeah,
life.
to learn how to live life. Yeah. Because when life was created, money did not existed. But there's such a strong connection today between the quality of life and the financial status.
Yes. Oops. Sorry, hang on.
Yeah, it's also very important to learn about your health, how to keep your health, because we are losing it on our life path. Vast majority of people, they lose their health, and they don't know what caused or how to fix it, and they will go to someone else to tell them and pay those every month from your monthly income. 300 euros goes to these guys.
I'm seeing some really cool sweaters on the live stream voice text. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Ravenous Brad is trying. I said this earlier, but I'm gonna say it again because I don't feel like I had a good description the first time. Ravenous Brad is trying to start up like kind of like a place without Amazon or Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or eBay. It's like a marketplace for the community. Like if we want something to sell or trade, they can come to his platform to see if someone else wants to buy, trade, sell, etc. Like t-shirts, hoodies, hats,
How about
those
provide
type.
services?
Yeah,
Anything like that?
exactly.
Like,
And
oh,
if you want more information or maybe an invite, you should talk to Ravenous Brad about it. His current nickname is Hoodie. His current nickname is Hoodie, and he is of moderator status.
I've always thought about that, like having a place where people can post like the services they provide, so people in the community can, if they need someone to do, I don't know, whatever design work on the computer, they could do it. So does anyone else want to answer the question?
The question, if anyone is curious, what does it mean to live a good life? If you are gold or below, you are allowed to, gold plus or below, you're allowed to answer, I guess. Anyone? Yeah. Honestly, like, I guess I have another question, if that's fine, because this will get people talking. What are some things you guys want to hear or see from precious metals moving forward? Because
I
we
was
are.
thinking
Yeah,
one
go
little
ahead.
suggestion would be if we can kind of go down the row and kind of have everyone answer it, kind of more like down the list thing. I don't know if it would be kind of weird, like a roll call thing.
Well, actually,
Or is that
that's what we used to do at the very beginning. But people would use it's like usually like whenever we start precious metals, there's usually like people wrapping up a conversation, even though we have the slot reserved from 1 to 3. And unfortunately, like I don't know how to say this properly, but like unfortunately, like sometimes it's very difficult to get precious metals moving because of that. And while we're trying to do the introduction, people actually like interrupt us. And usually it's not even people on our side. It's usually like people are new to the server. Like they'll interrupt, like, okay, but can someone answer my question? Like while we're doing the intro, people will be like, okay, but what about my question? Right? Like, and we'll have to like stop the intro, say like, okay, like 2 to 5 minutes, and then continue the intro. Like, so like usually because things are happening before we start precious metals, it's kind of hard to ask everyone the question, which is like why I guess that's why like we're trying to focus on the question again. I would really I think calling on people again is a really good idea, and I'm gonna DM Red for that.
the other thing is if there are any precious people that are like in the community that have produced work or any kind of like videos or anything, they can maybe post them in the chat, and we can get them more views and stuff like that. Because I know that there's people always producing content, so it could be used to kind of for people to promote their stuff too.
I
Just thinking out
I,
loud.
I disagree to an extent. I think it's don't take this the wrong way. I think it's a wonderful, beautiful intention. But if precious metals is used as a platform to advertise stuff, on the chance that like a serious discussion does happen, people will sometimes like advertise, because this has actually happened a couple of times. People actually advertise their content in the middle of a debate. So like someone will like try and post a picture of the black swan, and like someone who doesn't usually get to speak will try and explain it, and then suddenly there's just someone's like t-shirt or keychains in the way, and that
Maybe
kind
we
of
just need to
sucks.
get Globers. We just have to get Globers in here. We have to be more diligent to like, hey, get more people here asking questions, because I feel like that sometimes also gets a good conversation going, right?
Well, I know how to get them, but most people, I know to get them, but like everyone has to be on the same page, I guess. By the way, it's really good we're talking about these things, DCO. Thank you for speaking, because these are
Yeah,
important.
no worries. I like
Um,
bouncing ideas.
yeah, it's wonderful actually that we actually have a chance to do this. Usually, and I'll say this before we like get back to the question, but well, actually, I don't know. I like bouncing at you. Okay, sorry. I'm like starting to get tired. My coffee's already wearing off. um, Usually, the best way to talk to new people is to talk about what they're interested in and tie it back to the server subject. I don't know if anyone picked up on this, but that's why I kept trying to talk about Rainbow Six Siege. I was trying to appeal to the listener instead of talking over their head.
I agree with that 100% too. I think that if you ask them a question about their personal life, like, "Hey, what do you do? Are you in school?" And that also gives you a little bit of insight as to maybe how you should answer the question. Like if they're in
Absolutely.
college, if they're in high school, if they've graduated, those you can actually know which way to take the conversation. So that's a good point.
Absolutely. 100%. I completely agree with you. 100%. And that's what, and maybe I should do a better job at communicating this because you just helped me realize this. Maybe like precious metals, that's exactly what it's about. It's getting to know people on an individual basis. And maybe sometimes on live stream we don't really have time to do that, so that's why precious metals has like this change in pace. It's for not only our community to get to know, but it's also the listeners, the guests, the people who aren't familiar with us. We get to know them so we can talk to them on a more personal level and try and appeal to them, because sometimes we'll talk about the black swan, but that's like step 2. Step 1 is getting to know them and how to talk to them and what they're interested in. Because maybe you don't start with the black swan with someone. Maybe you want to talk to them about Marconi instead, or maybe you want to talk to them about pictures in space if that's something they're attached to. Or maybe you want to talk about why engineering isn't what they think it is because maybe they want to be an engineer. It's important to listen to their values so we can speak to their values. And I'm glad you understand that because that's very awesome and important. I've been hogging the mic.
No, that's
Redford,
good.
Redford, do you want to talk to DCO and stuff since you just got back?
Oh, yeah, I've been listening for a minute. Yeah.
The one thing I did want to reply to is I was thinking about this too. Like if I were back before I went to school, would I want to know this information? And I think so, but I think it would have made my school life a little bit harder. So even someone that is not in school, I would want to tell them, listen, you don't have to look into this. Just know that there's people that are actually questioning the narrative, right? Because some people go through life not knowing that people like question it, and that's when they get a big shock at the end. It's like, what, people are questioning this? Maybe it's okay just to tell some people, hey, just know that there's huge communities of people out here questioning the same thing that you're being taught in school, and just maybe that's enough for some people. So yeah. But maybe not. I don't know. Maybe some people can handle it before going to school. Just in my perspective, just being understanding as to where people are, because some people maybe can't handle that information. Maybe something that they're doing in their personal life is going to really stop them from actually taking in that information, when maybe later on in life, when they have extra time and they're like, wait, someone did say that to me, they can go back and look at the information, uh, but not feel so forced. Because when you're in school and you're trying to go through the motions, it's a little bit harder to do it when you're kind of against everything. So anyway, Bradford, you're back.
Yeah, no, and I think that you're very correct in that. And I think that's where I struggled for a long time. Like, why doesn't everybody want to know the truth? Why does nobody want to hear this? Right. But they're not ready. That's not their path in life, or whatever they're dealing with, family pressure, even just like you say, don't want to be different because that's what you're learning in school. You're not supposed to question these things. So I think CI's approach as well is effective in just us taking that a little bit of time. And I mean, I've spent hours talking to like a lot of trolls, and they're like, why do you do this? It's like, well, we do this because, well, first of all, we want to spread the truth, but how do I know that 2 years down the line, something I said is not going to pop into your head or help click for you and that aspect and help you along in your journey in life and trying to find the truth? And yeah, you can't force people. That's for sure.
At the same time, though, and it's actually my Discord status right now, there's also the philosophy of don't make an effort to talk to those who do not desire your presence. Now, usually this is misunderstood. Most people are like, "Oh, you should talk to them if they're angry because then you may convince them." But that's not what my status is saying. There's the difference between, like, there could be someone who's angry at you but still desire your presence, or enjoy talking to you but still disagree with you. Someone who doesn't desire your presence, they're never going to listen to you. They just want to get out. They want to run away. They're not going to listen, if that makes sense. So save your own time and save their time, but only if you know for a fact. Like, if you try to ask them the same question, you're honestly trying to speak on their level, it's civil, and they're still not listening to you. Maybe they get heated up when you're trying to be nice and speak on their level. Then just say, you're too attached to this. I'm trying to ask you a question, you're avoiding it. I can't help you, type of thing. It sucks to do that, but sometimes you have to.
Yeah, and that's what I've kind of learned too, because I have one friend that well, go through phases where I'll really push and I'll be like, you don't want to know the truth then, right? And they just laugh because they know, right? They don't want to hear it. They don't want to look into it any further. But yeah, it's just like dust your feet off and move on. You can't save everybody. You just can't. That's what it is.
You know what I think it is?
Oh, hey, God Rockin'.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, thank you. I think it's the problem that they don't understand that there are actually people out there that are purposefully spreading misinformation about the very things that they were taught in school. They were lied to. I mean, how you convey that to them, I don't know. If you could convince them that, look, we've proven that we were lied to about this, we were lied to about this, that, this, the other. Give a few examples of things that the media, the school curriculum, just the mainstream narrative is purposefully lying to us about different things. If you could just get that point across to them and have them understand, say, look, they're just, we're not trying to convince you of any one subject. We're just going to make you aware of the fact that, yes, you're being lied to. And this is here, and show them where, and show them, the examples. Then when you say that you've been lied to about, let's say, space or the moon or whatever you want to jump to from there, they might be more receptive because they realize that it's happening everywhere. And it is. There are so many lies out there right now. I mean, they lie about anything and everything they can get away with to profit their narrative, either for money or for power or control or whatever it may be. We all know that. But I don't think that these people understand just how rampant that situation is. And I don't know exactly how to do that, but I think if we could do that and make them aware of the fact that that we are definitely being manipulated in so many ways that you just cannot take what anyone says, especially from the mainstream, the news, the whatever, the school curriculum, all that just cannot be just taken as automatically correct because they've got a purpose behind what they're doing. I don't know if you guys think that would help or not, but that's what I think.
I agree,
No,
and I think it takes
yeah.
different things for different people. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I think it takes different things for different people. For me, it was like knowing about secret societies and things like that. But yeah, I agree with you. We have to basically get a little wedge in there to pry off that crazy programming.
Definitely. I agree with everything that you guys said. And that's kind of the struggle, right? When you get so many people in here, well, why would they lie? Why would they lie? And if they can't get past that, I mean, how many times can you try to explain that to somebody? They just, I don't know. I've tried different approaches. And again, every individual is different. And Flat Earth might not be the main one to get that person to realize that they're being lied to about everything, right? They might come across another thing and then it'll lead them to Flat Earth. But sometimes, yeah, it might be
That's how it
too
was for me,
much.
actually.
Oh,
The
so
only
what was yours?
the only reason I came to accept this was because I had built up a foundation beforehand. There's almost like a level to truth. Like you can't sometimes you can't start with this. You have to understand people's level of understanding first. And this is kind of like a follow up to what Godorockin was saying. And you know, I agree with Godorockin. You have to get people to understand kind of like the foundation and understand like what they've been told early is dishonest and misinformation and misleading and just not right, and we can verify that it's false. Like things like water fluoridation, that was the first one for me because it's really easy to verify, because if you ask people about it, what they'll say is, well, yes, it is in the water, but it's good, but it's good, but it's good. See, like people
Your
like
teeth, right? The dentist
it,
says the teeth.
exactly. So like the fact that people concede to that is like, that's why it's one of the best things to learn about, because they try to hide it, but they have no choice but to concede to it. So if you talk about things that they have no choice to concede to, well, that's a good way to start. And it's also like, and it's different for everyone, obviously, but as a general rule, it's usually good to practice on people who will respect you no matter what and won't cut you out of your life. I started by talking to my friends about this stuff, and you learn who really does like you or care about you, because some people will be like, I completely disagree with you, but you're still my friend. I love you, dude. And other people will be like, screw you. You disagree with my worldview. You're crazy. Screw you. Right?
Yeah, but those
But those
people
people
were
aren't
not
your friends.
truly. Yeah, exactly. They were never truly your friends. They were just there to because it convenienced them to be associated with you at that time.
Very well put. I I really like what Godorockin says, because it makes me think of effective communication again. It's not about what you say, it's about how you say it, in my opinion.
Yep, I would agree.
And some people may kind of like be confused or baffled by that, but like, you're not making the right argument. I mean, I understand that's important, especially at the higher level, but some people aren't at that level yet. Not everyone is, not everyone's as smart as us, to be frank. So we almost have to talk at like a dumber level to these guys, unfortunately. Like,
Yeah, not everyone's willing to be an outcast, and we're okay with it. We're okay with being with truth, and if we're outcasted for it, then fine. And I agree with you. Like the friends that I have now that are cool with with anything that you can say, those are kind of the friends that you want around. The ones that you can talk to about anything, right? Kind of like here, you can talk. We can talk about anything. So that's kind of cool.
my best friend at the moment, he listens to this show sometimes, but like, he is someone I really respect, and it's hard for me, right? Because like, he's the type, like, he knows what I'm saying is true, but he doesn't want to think about it, right? But I'm not gonna force it on him. Like, I'll bring it up from time to time, but like he's the type like he knows what I'm saying is true, but he just doesn't want to alter his worldview. Like he just doesn't care about it, and like he knows the big picture, right? Like not to trust government, right? He agrees with that. He knows about the moon landings not being what they say they were, right? He knows about like certain people like FMs and ZJs, right? But like he doesn't want to even dive into this. And it makes me sad. But I understand it at the same time. And I try to talk to him about it. And his issue, right? And this is why I have the philosophy I do with PMT. Just so people understand where I'm coming from. Because sometimes I do things and it confuses people, and I'm really sorry. So I'm trying to give context, and I'm also monologuing. Shit. But I'll make this quick. I'll wrap up. He doesn't want to join 24/7 because he doesn't like how people speak. And I really am upset by that because, like, I feel kind of offended, but then I have to step back and then realize where he's coming from. And then I'm like, okay, maybe I have to talk differently to different people. And I think that's an important lesson is like not everyone thinks the same. Anyway, I'm just repeating myself. I'm sorry.
Oh, you were so close. I was gonna give you a congratulations because when you said you were monologuing, you were like, "Oh shit!" But you didn't
Man, I
apologize,
said
and then
sorry.
you said sorry. So close. See, so maybe next time.
But if I don't say sorry, then I'm an asshole.
But there's nothing to apologize for. It was fine. But I think that's and that's what I'm learning even from being in here and just the different approaches and how far do I want to push people, and they just don't necessarily always want to hear it, and maybe I'm not the person to share that with them, right? Somebody else's approach is sometimes better, but
I've also been criticized for being too gentle or nice with newcomers.
oh yeah, I'm sure
I mean,
but whatever.
I've convinced people before, though. That's why I'm like so adamant about the way I do things.
But we don't convince people.
Sometimes we do. Believe it or not, sometimes we do. Not often, but sometimes we do.
Mm-hmm.
However, my method doesn't work with some people, and I recognize that. Like sometimes people really just do want to debate and call us names, and screw those people.
Well, just imagine this, guys. Imagine this. Let's say that we leave just for starters, we leave the flat Earth subject completely alone. Don't even bring it up. Don't even entertain any part of it. And then we go out and identify all these little things that we're being lied to about. I mean, we could probably find 1,000 things that we're being lied to about. And we could document this and try to prove it in some way, and then show them that kind of stuff. Say, look, this is where we're at. This is what's going on in the world. This is what's happening. We're being lied to about this, Not even bring up the flat Earth. Just like try to show them just how messed up that society is and how everybody uses lies, manipulation, and all that, stuff just to take advantage of people to, convince them of things that just aren't true. If you had 1,000 things that you could show them that we've been lied to, and then you brought up the flat Earth, they might be going, "Oh, well, yeah, maybe we're being lied to about that too," because I just got shown 1,000 things we're being lied to about. And I won't say any more about the subject. I just kind of wanted to add. But I think if we had that kind of ammunition, we wouldn't even have to go to the flat Earth first because it's got such a bad, stigma attached to it. You say flat Earth and it's automatic. Fucking, you're crazy. You're stupid.
Yeah.
You're fucked up. I mean, all that kind of shit. It's almost like you have no chance from the beginning because the mind's made up. They know. They know what the Earth is. Well, leave that fucking shit alone for a minute and just show them all the fucking lies that don't have anything to do with the Earth. And then say, do you think we might be being lied to about this too? And they might go, oh, fuck. Probably. We're being lied to about everything else. I don't know.
That's how my friend is, right? Like, he knows things, but it's almost like he associates a certain culture type of person with a label. And, like, he's confused that, like, he's actually asked me to leave 24/7 before, and I said, I can't do that. I like the people here.
Wow.
So, like, it's like one of those, right? Like, it's not even about the facts to some people. It's about the culture or community. And I don't think that's an issue with us. I think that's an issue with the perception of the label.
Yeah, it is. That's what I was just saying. You say flat Earth, and you're automatically a fucking moron.
People
That's
are
why I like
programmed
to.
too, like with
Oh,
I was gonna
go
say
ahead.
people are programmed with television that everything needs to be presented in like this beautiful and pristine way with transitions and beautiful, introductions and stuff. Where really we should be focusing more on like the information. And people have a hard time. Maybe they've just been programmed. They can't look at the information. They have to look at the presentation. And that's also something else that we're up against, which sucks because I tend to learn a lot from people that maybe I don't agree with everything, but I can discern what is truth or not, and that's what's missing from people. So
Yeah, well, you learn that here. That's not something you learn everywhere.
exactly,
Not that you can't learn it elsewhere, but that's a big thing here. People
it's
learn to
training. Yeah,
discern
you got to
truth
train
from
it.
false here because we're faced with it every day, and we learn how to manage that. But people out there in the normal world, they don't have that. They don't have that everyday battle going on trying to discern truth from false. They just think everything they're being told is true. They don't even try to discern whether it's right or wrong. They just, oh, okay. They just go with it.
And it is a muscle, right? It is something you do have to train because at the beginning, when you first start questioning, the first things you start questioning, you're like, this is kind of weird. But then when you start questioning, like questioning just becomes something that you do to everything. And people are not okay with that. They discriminate on truth. They want the truth that makes them feel good, but they don't want the truth that doesn't make them feel good.
Uh, uh,
Proof Globe, your mic is making really horrible noises. Oh,
yeah,
someone muted you.
your mic was like.
I was gonna say we do have like Alien Zoo 1. I don't know if they want to answer the question. Just throwing it out there.
That name looks really familiar, but sure, let's go for it.
Alien Zoo, are you there? Well, if you're listening, we're asking a question. So if you or anyone else that just joined wants to answer the question, just let us know in the live stream voice text. We can ask you. The question is, can you repeat it again? I don't want to mess it up.
Yeah. Well, usually Redford asks it.
Yeah, but you can. It's all good.
What does it mean to live? Wait,
What does it
was
mean?
it?
What does it mean for someone to live a good life?
Yeah.
To know
Aliens.
himself.
Oh, hey. Are you there?
Only you can know.
What?
No one else can give you the think. Only you can know.
Yeah, we're asking your opinion. So what do you think?
I
What
just
does it
told
mean
you.
for someone to have a good life?
I was just listening to Dell. Beyond the imaginary curve.
What were you listening to?
Dell. Beyond the imaginary curve. On YouTube.
Okay, I'm not familiar with that.
BI.
You post in live stream?
BTIC. IC, yeah. You haven't listened to me before.
Could you post what you're listening to in live stream voice text?
What's the name?
No, the link?
Oh, the link. You want the link? Okay. Where do we get the link? Copy link to this.
So how long are you guys gonna go on
Okay.
for?
I know who. Okay. Precious Metals Takeover ends in 12 minutes.
Okay, cool. I'm here. I'm with you guys. How y'all doing? I'm not breaking any rules.
Maybe you cough sneeze again for us, please.
Yeah, last night when it was ladies' night, where it mattered, where you could, figure out who it was, you guys couldn't do it, but now you do.
I knew the whole time.
I didn't know.
You piece of shit.
That's hilarious.
Lol. I don't know.
Deep
What a
breaths,
way to
my
end
friend.
this show.
Deep
Oh
breaths.
my god.
Where's Sunny and Enoch?
Yeah, I missed them.
They weren't here the
Probably trying
last
to
week.
flirt.
What do you say, Silver for 10 minutes?
Silver for 10 minutes. I was saying that they're probably somewhere singing songs and trying to get the ladies. That's all.
What? No.
Oh, I believe Sonny mentioned something about coffee shop with the lovely lady over there. So there you go.
Well, that's good.
MJ, what's with the name change?
Hey, I'm a silver dude, bro. Who's MJ? I can't prove glow.
Okay, listen. Do we allow this, Redford? Do we allow this, degenerate?
What?
I don't know. I might have to mute him. I don't know. We'll
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I mean, technically the account's silver, so.
No.
But no.
No. Stop
He just
unmuting
unmuted
yourself.
himself.
No. Come on.
That's hilarious.
No. Stop. You can wait 10 minutes.
That wasn't me.
Oh my god.
It's
Not
me.
this time.
Leave him alone before I mute you.
Oh, old dude said get banned.
Yeah, before I ban the whole room.
Should we give him Cogdis for 10 minutes?
No,
I think that's a good idea.
You're gonna do something to MJ? Are you kidding me?
Who's
Are you
MJ? It's
fucking
I can't
kidding me?
prove globe. Who is MJ? MJ's not
Yeah,
in
I
it.
don't know who MJ is, but this Silver is being very disruptive.
Oh my god. He's probably one of the most valued members on the site. You're gonna treat me like that? I'm gonna mute you just for being here, CI. Good heaven.
Jeez. Okay.
I'm done. This is oh shit. He's typing. Oh shit.
No, I'm just having fun. But
I know.
for hell's sakes, leave MJ alone. He's a good man.
I know, but it's precious metals. Like, you can't make exceptions for him, but not other mods, right?
What? He can't speak? Why?
It's, you know what precious metals is, right?
Of course I do.
Oh,
I'm in gold. Does that mean I can't speak when it's for silver only?
no, it's not silver only.
That's what you said a minute ago.
No, it's gold plus and below.
Well, he meets that criteria.
Well,
Yeah, but we know he's a mod. Right? Like, that can mean, like, any mod can make an alt and come in and take over a PMT, which kind of defeats the purpose of it, right?
No, wasn't trying to take over anything.
No, I know
You have
that.
to
I
discern what he was
understand
doing.
that. No, I know he's just trolling. It's hilarious.
Yeah, if he's just here to have fun, for hell's sakes, let the man have a little bit of fun.
you know what?
Does
What?
he play an instrument? I don't know if he does. Maybe he
If he
wants to play so
instrument,
cool.
I'll allow. I think me and Redford will allow it if he plays an instrument.
Yeah.
Oh my! Oh, he unmuted. Someone
How do I get on the board here? How do I become on the board so I can have a choice here? I'm going to argue with. I want to oppose you two.
Well, we have a silver, like, rally 30 minutes before precious metals for more private matters.
Yeah, well, we need to let's go to the boxing ring. Me, you, and Redford.
I don't fight.
It's a figure of speech, you weirdo.
Oh.
I got 7 minutes. Then we can hash it out.
Yeah.
You can wait 7 minutes, my guy. Yeah, like, come on.
I think he would. He just, he's not the kind of guy that's going to keep interrupting and doing this and doing that. He might have had a little bit of fun. You're premature.
I know. It's all in good fun. That's why
Like,
we even Cognitus for 10 minutes. It's a joke. Like, we are all just, all his rolls.
Brittany alone.
MJ is one of my favorite people here. That's why. I guess I'm a little biased.
Mine too. That's why I'm messing with him.
That's probably the problem. He's one of my favorite people. So you mess with.
I think I might have.
You're messing with me.
I think I might have met MJ on Hangouts a couple years ago. Whenever he would join a call, a couple of people would be all like, MJ, 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 MJ. I'm just like, who's MJ?
He's one hell of a good dude, is who MJ is.
I don't know if he's ever been on Hangouts, like, say, since 2015.
I know I haven't.
I don't know. I've never been.
I watched ODD's old Hangout videos a long time ago, but that's like 5 years ago.
Yeah, that was back when it was the shit.
It was
I wasn't even a flat earther 5 years ago. What the hell are you guys talking about?
That was back when you could go to YouTube and then start a live show via Hangouts, and it would set you up with a chat room. It's pretty much like a pseudo Discord type thing with like hackers and unsnipables and all that kind of stuff. Then I figured out how to do it.
Honestly, like, I'm just really happy that Precious Metals is such a fluid format. Like, I just want to take a moment to appreciate, like, we can talk about literally anything. Like, it could be a way to introduce the new people. It could be casual conversation about how things are. Like, it's just this 2-hour relaxation block. It's great. Man, old ODD used to be like this shit. Like, nobody was like him. I mean, he's still pretty good. He still makes good content. But, like, back then, like, 2016 was like back then it was like a new year. Like, it was like everything was just so fast paced and moving and no big tech censorship. I'm just gonna keep adding unamused to MJ's messages until he gets the note.
Like what?
That get out of here.
You took him out of Cogdis. His 10 minutes isn't up.
What if it's like one of the admins like messing with? No, I'm kidding. They wouldn't do that.
You know
Then
how hard it
stop
was to
me!
figure.
Stop it!
Okay.
Stop it!
It's okay.
You
It's
can
all
wait
good.
4 minutes. Holy crap! I'm just
Well,
gonna
we
add the unamused reaction again.
Yeah,
So
but
anyway,
whatever he could say is at least 1,000 times more important than what you could say.
wow.
How do you like that?
Wow.
Or are you gonna lead and mute him? Yeah, wow. How'd you like
Okay.
that one? How did you like that one, mister?
Wait. Does anyone know why Soviet Dom was muted? Like, can I have context? Oh,
Maybe
someone
not a mic.
unmuted him.
Hello.
Hello.
Because
Finally.
that should be his natural state for the
Well,
betterment of mankind.
in 3 minutes, we're wrapping up like PMT or whatever, because apparently someone can't wait to speak.
Wait, we're wrapping up what? Did you call it
PMT in 3
DMT?
minutes. PMT.
MT. Precious metal takeover.
Mushrooms.
I heard DMT.
Oh my god.
I'm just like, wait a minute, what?
Maybe in the chill channel.
Yeah.
I was like, how do you know what I'm looking at right now?
What the? I guess you only hear what you want to hear.
Yes, what you do on your own time. That's all okay.
Maybe before we wrap up, like
Wrap
maybe.
out. Are you gonna do a wrap then for us? Is that how this is gonna go?
Hey, stop unmuting yourself. Holy shit, MJ.
When you can hear that, just turn streamer mode on so you don't listen to any of those stupid notifications going.
No.
Bleed it.
Quit it. Okay, so seriously. Okay, so anyway, for the end of PMT, I think we should like talk about like maybe our favorite parts or who we really liked.
Oh, it's ending. Fuck. I'm late.
Yeah. Personally,
Fuck.
I
Redford,
always come at the end.
Personally, I really liked DCO's commentary. I think that was pretty cool. DCO, you should speak more.
Yes, I agree. DCO. Definitely.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, I definitely want to talk more. I really enjoy this time, Precious Metal. So yeah, I always join, so I'll be joining more.
Yeah, it's good when you join us. It's good when everybody joins us. That's for sure. Well, I
What
mean, we
else
could
do you like?
start. Oh, okay. What were you saying? Sorry.
What do you think was a good highlight of PMT today?
I thought it was just a good conversation. I mean, we had that guy at the beginning that was just a little interesting, but
Are you talking about dimethyltryptamine?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm talking about dead mouse time.
Okay.
Oh.
Whatever it is. I mean, when you say DMT, I think of dimethyltryptamine.
What's dimethyltryptamine?
Redford, is there anything else or no?
No.
All right. Well,
just if the moderators or admins want to comment. Yes.
Not
I
yet.
can't prove.
Not yet.
Well, we can because it's the end of PMT, so we can allow them to provide feedback if
but
they would
MJ
like.
goes last.
Okay.
First, I'm going to mute him.
No, DMT. You know, Des Moines trip.
Actually,
Des Moines.
okay, real talk. First, I want to ask Justin if he has any feedback, like in all seriousness, and then maybe Meme if he wants to add anything. I don't know if he was listening on YouTube.
I'm good. What's been said has been said. I hope you heard what I said, though. You know, I mean, I always take care of wherever I go. And if there's been something left behind, you know, something there, little, fine, I'm gonna clean it up. You know, something
I mean,
little.
you do great
fine.
work in the lobby.
I lurk all the time. Yeah.
think
I
you
know,
rule
like
with an iron fist, Justin. That's my opinion. You rule with an iron fist, my friend.
I just can't take any more shit anymore, and I'm going to dish out as much shit as I get or whatever. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
I know you work hard.
You do what you
So
want. I don't disagree with what you do. I just know that you carry a mighty heavy iron fist.
Thank you,
You're welcome.
and I do appreciate every single one of you. You know that I don't just come here for the hell of it. It's kind of like another home for me. You are all my family.
thank you
Okay.
for thank you for doing what you do.
It's almost like we all need to meet up one of these times and have a blast.
Ooh.
No, that's not why he's been muted.
Huh?
Sorry, I was reading Livestream voice text.
I was like, wait, what?
Sorry, I'm looking at Livestream voice text.
Hey, so I figured out a secret power that all silvers have that they don't know about.
VC check-in.
No, the silver text itself, silver room itself.
Oh, well, before we do that,
I'm not going to mention it, but it's just something I found out. I didn't know if you were made aware of it too.
No, I wasn't. Before we do that, stop.
He didn't even say anything. If he's saying something, mute him. He didn't. You were being ridiculous, CI. He unmuted his mic and he didn't even say a damn word, and you muted him again. What is wrong with you?
Well, because they're
He didn't say anything.
Because we're trying to wrap up the show.
Okay, everybody, let's just relax. We'll wrap up
I'm just
PMT
saying,
and
he
then
didn't say
everybody.
a damn word.
Use the brakes, baby.
So,
Man,
Redford,
you guys got some weird fetishes.
what the fuck?
Okay.
Fetishes.
Okay, you guys.
All right,
Let's
all right.
stop. Enough,
All right.
please.
Let's just wrap it up. Thank you all for going to Precious Metals. It's been enjoyable until the last 15 minutes. No, I'm just yanking chain.
Just when I joined, huh?
No. I'm just messing.
Oh,
No,
you're
it's
just
not.
joshing? See?
Well, okay. Precious Metals was enjoyable. I really like the middle of it, like that, like 2 o'clock to 2:30 range was really good. DCO, really great stuff. You should really speak more. You have a lot of valuable things to say. I liked what Godrockin said near the end as well, like around the 2:45 range, when you're talking about like what we can say, like about like communication, what we say to people, how it
What
matters.
time is it for you, Sia?
3:04. Redford, do you have anything else? Any final comments you'd like to add before we wrap up Precious Metals?
Yeah, it's not about precious metal, but spam Brad with all of your FE commerce ideas.
Yeah, FE commerce. Really good.
Yeah, so
Like
if you have
my
any
beanie
ideas,
idea?
anything
you
guys
want
can
to
just
tell her.
Where
spam them.
you know you'll have water at the bottom and then mountains and then like a dome thing at the top with like the sun and the moon spinning around like a freaking what are they called, those beanies back in the day with the propellers? Except for the propeller will be the sun and the moon.
Oh, yeah. I don't even
Yeah.
know what they're called.
I think they're called beanies.
Well, if there's
with the propeller.
If there's no other comments in regards to 2 hours, I guess Precious Metals will be concluded. Moderators can unmute, and so can admins. Thank you all for going to Precious Metals. It was really enjoyable, except for a certain someone interrupting.
I'm unmuting them. I'm gonna do it. They're unmuted. They're unmuted.
Shit. Well, I gotta go. Okay.
Hey, God Rocket trolled the both of you so good.
Okay, who muted me?
Okay, so it was just us. Well, I didn't know. Like, how do I know?
Okay, but seriously, like, please don't do that again.
Hello.
I didn't hear him
Hello.
do anything. I never heard a single word fall out of his mouth. Not
It's
one.
Damn right.
okay.
Damn right.
I'm not gonna air dirty laundry. Y'all have a nice day.
Thank you. You too, CI.
You too,
Unless
brother.
my ears
See,
are
I've
dirty.
You
Maybe
too,
I just
I've
need
only
to
been
clean
here
my ears. I don't.
for 37 minutes, and yeah, it's a good little stream, I guess.
Interesting.
I'm gonna go get some Q-tips. Maybe this won't ever happen again. Clean my ears.
Oop, you can hear me.
Yeah, I muted you.
Wait, so it was you?
Well, just now. I
Oh,
only did
okay.
it
I
just
was
now.
about to say, like,
Oh, no. I just this time.
okay, because that would have been funny if it was you, but
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
It wasn't
I
me
know.
either. Wasn't
Oh,
me.
Okay.
no, hey.
It wasn't me.
Okay, well, obviously it wasn't you, Joshua.
It was
It
me.
had to be someone who's gold or above.
Well, how do you know I don't have another account?
I mean, you could, but I don't think you do.
I'm just joshing you. See?
No, my
Josh.
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 See? Are you kidding me?
Are
That's
you-
what these
He's
fun-
Joshuaing you.
Yeah.
His head's gonna explode. Where's the
That was good.
Oh, that's depressing. No. Apparently there's like a person missing at my university who's like, yeah, that sucks.
Whoa.
I think
That's
there's a person
intense.
missing in your
So-
universe.
Was he a member of the Young Democrats of America Club?
Your universe has gotten too big, CI.
What?
You need to trim down a little, brother.
Damn right.
Well, see, technically, wouldn't this be considered a university as well?
No,
Well,
this is
Universal
Discord.
not
knowledge is
right
found
now,
here.
but soon.
This is Discord. Don't worry, brother.
Once
Cool.
we get this thing called FEU going, but it's better to wait for justice than rush injustice.
Yeah, but okay, here's another thing I'm talking about. Like, traditionally, what is a college? A college is a collection of collegiate minds that are
Just
on a
Google
higher way
college
of thinking.
meaning.
So it's almost like this could be considered a type of college. It's just not accredited with no curriculum. It's just a forum.
Or you can just Google the meaning. That's another option.
So where are we at? Are we back on the live stream? Are we back doing 24/7 Flat Earth Discord, or what's up? What's going on?
Yeah, this is the normal live stream. Admins and mods can speak. PMT concluded.
Oh, thank God for that. Wow. I was going through some changes there, CI. Not.
See, you took it personal as well. Redford definitely fell for it.
What? No.
Well,
I
listen.
know God Rockin' that much, right? Like I know you, MJ, but
Here's the thing, though.
rolling too.
It was funny now, but please don't do it again.
We're gonna get muted.
Well, he can unmute it himself, so it really doesn't even matter.
He probably was just unmuting himself. Oh, you're back. Oh, hey, MJ.
No, I wasn't.
There was
unmuting
another
myself.
guy
I
that
just-
MJ was
sounded
here the whole
exactly like
time.
you.
Yeah, yeah.
So is it
Yeah.
just me, or does anybody else have the power to disable video?
Disable video.
To disable what?
Video.
Oh, I think any
Disable
mod
video.
can shut a video down.
Well, because like for instance, yeah, every account it's open for me. Like even on Meme, it says mute and then disable video, and I don't know if that just does it on my end or if it shuts
It
it
I
just
think
does
down.
it on your end.
it's just
Oh,
for
okay.
your
Your end.
videos.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just for whatever you post.
No, it's like say I'm
Is
over
it
here
red
on
or is it
your thing.
gray? Is the
It's
text gray
gray.
or red? Then
It's
it's
gray.
only for you.
Okay. That makes sense.
Jay, pop down into chill for 1 minute. I want to have just a little private chat for a second.
Sure thing.
Private.
I wonder if because I didn't notice that before. I wonder if they just added that because if somebody's on has their video open and you're on like say a cell phone and you have a data plan, it'll eat up your data plan within the snap of a finger. Like 15 minutes is 2 gigabytes gone. So that way you can disable somebody else's video on your end. I think that's why they added that.
Peace.
No, you.
Oh, nice one. Good job. Bro, I cannot post images. So sad.
Oh my god.
So sad. Damn. Oh. Damn. Mimi. Nice memes. Memerus. Yes. Memus. Fuck, I cannot say your name. Stupid name. Change it.
Mimius Aurelius.
Some kind of.
Like Marcus Aurelius.
I don't care. Shitty name. Change it.
Well, Marcus Aurelius is a great philosopher.
Me too.
From like the Roman days.
You know who's better? True.
I don't believe there was a contemporary when Marcus Aurelius was around.
Still.
Depends on what you mean by better. Because Marcus Aurelius his writing was on Stoicism, and as far as Stoicism goes, there's nobody better than Marcus Aurelius.
Bro. Literally who asked? Like literally.
I think you did, didn't you?
No. I
You know who
literally
was
didn't.
better? You said you know who was better, and I informed
Yeah,
you.
I should have answered you. It's my answer. I should have answered that question.
Well, I was giving you the correct answer, though.
But I didn't ask for a correct answer.
You don't have to solicit it. I'm a presumptuous knob.
What is this? I do not have to solicit anything. Like non-consent. Consent? What?
You do not consent?
No, no consent for right information, please. Please.
Yeah, try screaming "I do not consent" while the police are harassing you.
Oh, I like it. It's my kink. That's why I have 20 warrants. Or how do you call them in America?
Interesting.
Yes, very interesting.
Go to the Interpol site.
What
Anonymous tip.
the fuck? What is that?
Huh?
What did you say? What is
Oh, did I say that out loud? Oops.
I think so. You said something, but me no English good. Bro. Me Muse, you're gonna get banned. Stop. Stop spamming. Stop spamming.
Memes and admin.
Still.
So you're telling me that a VC verified is gonna ban an admin?
Sure, why not?
Oh my lord.
Let's do an analogy, okay? The mods here are
Oh my
like
god. Are you gonna ban
they're
a
like
mod?
politicians, okay? They can't get in trouble, they can do what they want. And then,
Sure.
you know, the admins, well, they're gods. So
The gods. Gods, you say, huh? What's the definition of God?
something bigger than yourself.
Just like my cock. Nice.
You got a giant rooster?
Damn right. Damn right. I'm 5% black. So I have to have one.
Did you say you're 5'7"?
No, I'm 6'1". Bro, memes, stop posting that. I'm gonna have a chubby, bro. Chill out.
Is that supposed to say both Sonic and Mario are gay?
In technically, you can have sexual interactions with a man without being gay.
No, that's wrong.
That's right.
Man can do many things in his life. Build a bridge,
Yeah, and
build a
one of them
But it's
is
nation,
fuck
against their
another
will.
man
conquer the world. But
and fuck another man.
if he sucks on one penis, he will be a penis sucker for the rest of his life.
No, if he sucks a penis and sucks a pussy, he's equals out. Plus minus and minus
Welcome
is
to the
plus.
24/7 Flat Earth Discord.
Hello, this is very interesting topics. Very very relevant.
No, well, see, here's the thing. You know how modern culture changes like
Yes.
every 10 years or so? Well, less than 10 years, but like
Yes.
say every 10 years. Like say
Uh-huh.
20 years ago, the cell phone was something that was expensive and not everybody had it.
Of course.
Right now, everybody, fuck, they're $100 and everybody can afford it. Shit, the United States government's giving away cell phones for people that can't afford it.
Yeah.
So if we know it only takes 10 years to completely change the way of things, within 20 years is a completely different world.
Mm-hmm.
How
What's the point?
fast do you think it would take, or how long do you think it would take for them changing things from flat earth being esoteric, or from it being exoteric to esoteric, and from heliocentrism from being occultic to being mainstream? How many years do you think it took for that to happen?
No idea.
Well, I mean, if we know it takes place in today's society with the speed of information, it takes 10 years for the social scene to change completely. 20 years for it to be unrecognizable as it used to be.
Yeah, you need a generation.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, like 70 years.
Bro, we just need to go back 50 years when people just beat their wives. It was much better.
No, we need to go back 500 years, sir.
Yeah, where people kill
We
someone
need to
for
go
being a
back
woman.
500 years when the church fell, when Rome fell, before the English Empire picked up the mantle.
Ooh. What you gonna do then?
Once we go back to those Victorian times, during the times of the Renaissance, so we can make things right and say, no, this knowledge that was hidden doesn't mean it was right. This heliocentrism, it's not true knowledge.
True knowledge. Knowledge. So that's it? That's all you're gonna do? If you could
Yep.
go back 500
Do it
years?
with the heliocentric model and burn them all at the stake.
Ooh, that's interesting. That's very interesting. That's very interesting.
Well, that's what they did to the flat earthers. Anybody that was against the
Didn't
church
the
and
church
for the
kill
Reformation was burnt
the
at the
people
stake.
that believed that when the church still was there? When people said it was a globe, they usually like
But see,
got
this
after them.
discussion stems back generations, man.
Yes, interesting, bro.
Coincidentally, those people back then that actually knew that the Earth was flat had better architecture too. So
Yeah.
it's not just knowledge, but also just looking at the beauty of the buildings that they created that still stand today. So yeah, I think I'd rather go
It's
back
just a
to
building.
that kind of
Chill
life.
out. Just a building with shapes on it. The fuck?
Yeah, yeah, I'm an architect. That's what I'm into. So
Oh my god.
if I could go back to better architecture, not wood 2x4s, I think that'd be cool.
Based. You can if you want to. You can do
I know,
whatever
but
you want.
what happens is society goes in one direction, right? So you have 5 different type of construction, and the one that typically you get for people is 5, which is wood construction, which is the crappiest. But government gets type 1, which is the best construction, which doesn't burn down. So you have to think it's all.
Probably because of the price that this happens. People just cannot afford a better construction. That's the most logical
Nah, it's
answer
by
here for me.
design. His has been erased as we know it, and now what we get is lower quality stuff that can be built fairly quickly, but it's not the quality that we used to have, where buildings actually functioned as actual machines.
Actually, you can make a wood house that'll last 1,000 years.
Base.
I agree. So it's a combination of materials, right? Like
Yeah.
making the base like super heavy and like structural, and then you can make the roof out of wood because it's a little bit lighter and no one's going to be walking on it. So you're totally right.
One thing that was great about older society is that things were designed to last instead of designed to be replaced. Planned obsolescence is one of the worst things about contemporary times.
It's actually the post-war, before World War II. A lot of the houses we were building were cinder block and brick. Post World War II,
Yep. And in Europe,
there
I
was
agree.
the
Yep.
suburban experiment started, in where cities, instead of utilizing the space that they already had, would expand highways and sprawl out instead of building up, or just utilizing space more efficiently. So you have highways that run through towns, which is insane. So, I mean, that's really the issue. I don't know how intentional it is, or if it's just a giant Ponzi scheme or what, but it would have to be a multi-generational Ponzi scheme, because it's always one generation deferring it to the next, with all the problems that are going to come 20 years later when the houses start falling apart and they have to create a new sprawling area.
Yep. And then I don't know if you guys have seen the footage of like World War II, like when there's like a plane going by, I think it's Germany, just seeing all the destruction that happened during the war. And all of those buildings were actually really well built. They look like masonry buildings that had been taken down. And so that's what happens is history is being erased sometimes through wars, and what is built up again is like lower quality. So we're forgetting what was there before, which I don't know. Just kind of wanted to throw that in there. I forgot my point.
Nice.
So I guess going back to the flat Earth is that, yeah, when we look back, at least when I look back at buildings in the past, they look like they were higher quality. And also, it seems like the information from the past seemed to be also higher quality. So that's just my connection there.
Well, he had a different building mindset too. So, like a mason from the 19th century, say about 1870 or so, would have been that would have been his entire life. There was no recreation. Because your life was your trade, and so just by default, it was a passion. So everyone, whatever you did, whatever you were professional at, you were probably a master at it. So there were just more masters of trades back then, also, because they didn't have PlayStations and cell phones. They didn't have time wasting devices.
True.
Yep, I agree with that too.
We just put kids in camps and just make them master one thing. That's a good idea.
Well, it seems like nowadays it's about making it easier and cheaper to construct, right? So the aims is not like how can I live on this beautiful home that I crafted together myself. It's like how much is it going to cost? How much am I going to sell it for? And how quickly can I get it? So all of these things take away from the beauty of what like the building that you're going to build sometimes is supposed to be, which is like the place that you're at. So it's a little bit of a combination of capitalism, right? Because sometimes we do this as a business, or sometimes we sell these homes. So it is kind of built into the society too, right? Like your home is just kind of it's a little bit of an investment, but you're also not going to live in it forever because you can also sell it and be in another place where maybe back in the day you were going to live in that home forever. So also those kind of mindsets change over time.
Well, it's also the wanting to be satisfied immediately. So,
yep.
Actually, once upon a time, everyone was poor when they started out. When they were 18 and getting married to, the farmer's girl a few farms over, whatever, they had to start off in something wood, and then they built something in stone. So we're using not poverty materials, but in the past they would have been, But there's a trade-off there, is because everywhere you go in, you can turn on a light switch, you can flush a toilet, and you can, plug in a router. So there's definitely a trade-off. We do live in luxurious times. It's just strange.
Right? It's funny because it's like we're aware of both and we know the pitfalls of each. It's kind of like you get to choose your own adventure. Just think about it. At any point, you can get away from the city and try to go back to those times. But in those times, you probably couldn't go and live in the times that we live now. So we should appreciate that we live in the times that we live now, but also know that we can go back to a simpler life.